ready or not, we are out the gates. Welcome to it. Thank you so much for choosing to start your week with us. Sam, I know it's kind of your job, but thank you for being here, my friend.
I am being paid to be here right now. But even if I wasn't, let me tell you, I definitely would love to start a Monday right here with you, Expresso fam, because it really just gets me kick-started for a beautiful week ahead. And let me tell you, when I say beautiful, I mean it from the bottom of my heart, because rock legend Francois Van Coke is in studio to tell us all about his brand new album. It's called Die Ruimte.
You've got to say it with a bit of...
Die Ruimte. I tried.
Because he says everything cool. He's just a
He's
ridiculously
just
cool human being. He is. He's the sweetest guy on the planet. Can't wait to connect with him and his cohorts this morning. Then we're going to unpack the social media storm surrounding the very controversial trek of South African farmers to the US. What's really driving the headlines? I think the last week in global headlines. And kudos to the South African reporters that have put their hand up and had their say. But I think the world's starting to understand the nonsense parade, I'm going to say, that is being paraded in front of us at the moment.
Absolutely. And then just to temper that a little bit, we're bringing in some entertainment because he is, I know this is one of your favorite artists,
what
Graham.
A guy, man.
Global chart topper Callum Scott is going to join us. And I can't wait to find out just a little bit more about the man behind the music. Also, his highly anticipated return to South Africa with the Ever Noir tour. And then we have to see what's happening on the internet streets, obviously. Wellness trends, like something I've been seeing all over TikTok. Morning coffee rave. So usually we party when the sun goes down.
Sorted.
How about when it's rising? We'll get into that in just a little bit because Masood is going to join us.
Isn't that kind of what we do every day?
It's what we
anyway,
do.
It kind of feels like our job description, but we are here for that. I don't care if we're going to start the party right now, and we know how you guys roll in that little place. So it's okay.
Exactly.
Yes, we are party starters. No, we're aware that we do need to just calm down, take stock. It's the start of a brand new week. Connect with our favorite colleagues and friends because we haven't seen them, in like 2 days.
Too long.
Ryle, I missed you, man. How you doing, bud?
That's 2 days too long, but we are back, Mzansi. Absolutely here for the energy that we are all bringing, and literally it's only Monday. So we're going to get this show on the road and firstly have a conversation with you. We've come through a weekend and you can sort of feel that it's getting colder and colder every weekend as we descend into June, July, August. So that's the question we have for you this morning. We want you to fill in the blanks and tell us, obviously with the warm winter weekends or colder winter weekends, are they for what? And that's really the question. We want you to fill in the blank. Winter weekends are for, well, you let us know. I'm going to say maybe snuggling, maybe adventures, maybe chasing waterfalls. Hey, we got options and you can see where this is going. So maybe you got a picture, maybe you got a voice note or something exceptional in the form of a long paragraph. It doesn't matter what it is. Come through and let us know because we want to find out from you what you're getting up to this winter and what your plans are. The number's 063-036-9649. Don't forget to use the hashtag Expresso Show. And as we promised, lots of energy coming your way this Monday. But let's start off with official duties. And Carissa is standing by with the latest.
Thank you so much, Raul, for this Monday morning. Let's get into your national news headlines first, where Minister in the Presidency, Maropene Ramakgopa, marked Africa Day yesterday by reflecting on the founding of the Organization of African Unity in 1963. Now, speaking during the G20 Development Working Group meeting, she said the AU continues to foster multilateralism and partnership for the continent's progress. Now, South Africa's theme, Building the Africa We Want, honors unity, equality and sustainability. Ramakgopa also paid tribute to ANC icon Chief Albert Luthuli, praising his legacy of unity as the continent commemorates shared dreams of liberation and growth. In other national news, hundreds gathered in Wellington yesterday to bid farewell to former Springbok Cornel Hendricks, who died a week ago of a heart attack at the age of 37. Now, his wife, Stephanie, pledged to honor his legacy through the CH Foundation, which aims to inspire others to dream boldly. Diagnosed with a heart condition in 2015, Hendricks' national career was cut short after 12 test matches. Still, he shone for the Cheetahs, the Bulls, the Blitzboks, and later the Cavaliers. Mourners remembered him as a dedicated sportsman and a caring, generous person. Looking further afield at your international news making headlines, Professor Adieke Adejabo, Senior Research Fellow at the Center for the Advancement of Science at the University of Pretoria, says African countries spend about 45% of their income serving debt. Launching his book on Africa Day yesterday, he revealed the continent's total debt stands at $1.3 trillion, or around $18 trillion. Nearly half of African nations spend more on debt repayments than on healthcare. His book, The Black Atlantic Triple Burden, links slavery, colonialism, and repatriations to today's economic challenges, calling for a shift in Africa's fiscal priorities. Meanwhile, foreign ministers from Europe and the Arab world gathered in Spain yesterday to push for a Gaza ceasefire and revive hopes for a two-state solution. Now, the summit, which included Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Turkey, Ireland, and Norway, comes amid ongoing Israeli strikes that killed at least 30 people yesterday. On Friday, nine of a Palestinian doctor's 10 children were killed, with the father and surviving siblings still in critical condition. Now, Spain's critical stance on Israel and recent recognition of Palestine added weight to the talks' humanitarian urgency. And closing up your 6 o'clock news, thinking of buying a new car? Well, sorry, the Ferrari driven to victory by Formula One legend Michael Schumacher at the 2001 Monaco Grand Prix has just been snapped up at the auction for only 325 million rand. The F2001 also carried him to a win at the Hungarian Grand Prix and sealed his 4th world title. It's now the most expensive Schumacher-driven car ever auctioned and the 4th most expensive F1 car ever sold. The record, a 1,033 million rand Mercedes Streamliner raced by Sir Sterling Moss and Juan Manuel Fangio. Although Ferrari didn't win yesterday, Charles Leclerc came a respectable second, with Hamilton 5th behind McLaren's Lando Norris 1st and Oscar Piastri 3rd. We'll definitely touch base with that F1 news. Delisha Daniels is coming through today to sit down with Graham. But for now, though, speaking about sports, let's get into your headlines with the G-Man.
Yep, before you sneak into, Nick, all of the sporting headlines, let's dive right in. Of course, yesterday, a massive day in sport in general. But let's start with football. The final day of the EPL, all of our Champions League spots, and vitally so, Newcastle secured 5th place despite a 1-0 loss to Everton, edging out Aston Villa on goal difference. Then Chelsea, they're sealed 4th with that 1-0 win over Forest, returning to the Champions League after 3 seasons out there adrift, while Man City, they wrapped up 3rd place on 71 points with a 2-0 victory over Fulham at Fulham, marking their lowest finish since the 2016-2017 season. Some I think they'll bounce back. Now we turn to rugby, and the Airling Pumas secured their maiden SA Cup crown with a commanding 39-14 victory over the defending champions, the Suzuki Griquas, in Nelspruit on Saturday. So leading 19-7 at half-time, the hosts then powered through the second half to seal an unbeaten campaign, becoming the second team, in fact, after Griquas, to lift the trophy without a loss. Well done. Now let's move on to cricket, as Devalt Breva smashed a blistering 57 of just 23 balls to power the Chennai Super Kings to a 230 for 5 total and an emphatic 83-run win over the Gujarat Titans in Ahmedabad. So Anshul Ramboj with 3 for 13, and then Noor Ahmed with 3 for 21, starring with the ball in hand. The CSK ended their rather disappointing IPL campaign on a high, with some bragging rights at least, while the Titans, they missed a top 2 finish after back-to-back heavy defeats. Now, we heard it mentioned briefly, Formula One, lots riding on it at the Monaco Grand Prix this weekend, and Lando Norris stepped up. He secured his 2nd Formula One win of the season with a thrilling victory at the Monaco Grand Prix yesterday. Starting from pole, Norris inherited the lead late after Max Verstappen's delayed pit strategy then backfired. Charles Leclerc, he had a strong one as well, finishing 2nd, and Oscar Piastri taking 3rd. So Norris now trails Piastri by just 3 points in the driver's standings, looking really, really good for the championship as well. We want this kind of competition. Delisha Daniels, yes, will be stepping in to give us the lowdown a little bit later, but right now, brand new week, brand new day. Let's see what the weather has in store.
Thank you so much, G-Man. And yes, let's take our first look at weather this morning. And the South African Weather Service has issued no alerts for today. Oh yeah, now with most parts of the country enjoying fine, cool to cold weather. Now in water news, the Lesotho Highlands Water Project is finally back online, and that's 2 months later than planned. Now maintenance work on the 37-kilometer tunnel, crucial for channeling 700 million cubic meters of water annually, and that's to Gauteng, the Free State and the Northwest. And this began in October and was due by March. Now engineering setbacks in Lesotho caused the delay, and the previous system shutdown was in 2019. Well, definitely exciting times ahead, and hopefully even more so because of this, our sunrise view of the hour. And it's all the way from Hekpoort. I don't know if you've ever been here, but put it on your bucket list because Varushka is showing it off and making it look absolutely serene. I love this area, I love this shot, and I love how we are starting the day. So here's your reminder, Mzansi, do like Varushka has done and elevate our mood with the sunrise view of the hour. We'll do it all again. So yeah, come through. The number's 063-036-9649. And it doesn't matter where you are in the country, we would absolutely love to see it. Now here's something I know you'd love to see, and that's your temperatures for the day. So ask and thou shalt receive.
No weather warnings, we'll take that and enjoy it, run with that. And just stay outdoors, in fact, regardless of the weather for the next 3 hours, because we got you.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a little bit of fun.
I can't wait. And then we also got Francois.
Are you that excited?
I'm going to do that again.
You are that excited.
I am that excited.
He has that effect on a lot of people, don't worry.
Especially the girls.
I go a little weak at the knees when I see Francois as well, and that's okay.
Francois Van Coke. Okay, I got there eventually. He's released a new album called Rave, and I really can't wait to sit down with him and find out what that's about.
Hopefully he's not leaving the planet, or the country.
I can understand why we're all nervous. We haven't even had breakfast yet, Mzansi, so why not let's add that to the list. We've got a beautiful mixed berry delight coming your way. Nice. So we're heading to the kitchen just to brace ourselves for the magic that is coming in the form of Direnta. I hope you're ready for it, Mzansi. It's gonna get good straight after this.
I'll go practice these now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Yes, he's obviously a studio hold name around here, but in South Africa, he is everybody's name. He is our artist and we love him. He is a multiple SAMA award-winning artist, producer, performer, and a friend to everybody, certainly within the industry. Francois Van Coke has been making waves with fresh music and a very busy tour schedule, and we are thrilled to have him here in studio to give us a feel-good catch-up. Ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together like a stadium full of people for Francois Van Coke?
Welcome back.
Hi, thank you.
Is it nice hearing your voice so English? I quite like that, your name, when I say
Van
Francois Van
Coke.
Coke.
Van Coke, yeah,
It's cute,
it
eh?
flies for sure.
It doesn't land, but it flies, man. My brother, how are you, my friend? How's it going?
Very good to be here. Nice to see you guys again, man.
Yeah, of
Love you, man.
course. I love the fact that you said household name too, because over here, your family pretty much, right? Which is why we're celebrating you. It's 2 months since the release of Die Ruimte. First of all, for non-English speakers, please explain what Die Ruimte is, and then tell us a bit about the inspiration behind the album.
Die Ruimte is space. And I got the title from my daughter. She's 8 years old now. And I think she kind of grasped the idea of the vastness of space. And she was really into all the planets and, you know, just watching science stuff in space. And I started saying to her, I love you more than space. And it kind of stuck. And then I kind of wrote it into a song, Ek het jou meer lief as die ruimte. And I thought, you know, just the idea of space is a cool theme for an album because it's kind of like never-ending possibilities, but also kind of scary, and that I guess that kind of reflects life in a way. So I decided to call the album that.
Oh, I
It's a
love
new
it so
space.
much.
Yeah, it's a new space. But what kind of rock star is writing love letters to his daughter now? What's going on here, buddy?
The best kind of rock
What has
star.
happened? No, we love this phase of life, but it must be quite a thing for you to hone in on that album process again, because I know you love being out there and you're on a stage every day, it feels like. You tour more than anyone I know, dude, so thank you for doing that. What is it like getting back in there now in this season of life? Is it the same machine that you're kind of plugging into? Does it look or feel different to you now?
Yes, I think that's like the most important part of being a musician is creating the tunes, I guess. And
Gotta have good music.
the most satisfying part.
Yeah.
These days it's quite weird because actual music doesn't give you that much of a financial reward with streaming.
Got to diversify.
So you're kind of doing it for yourself
Right.
at the end of the day, and that makes it cool. You know what I mean? So I think the position that I'm in, I can just do exactly what I want, write the songs I want with who I want. I've got an amazing group of friends that I work with all the time. I've worked with a bunch of them on this album again. My band Die Gevaar, a bunch of producers and co-writers, and it was a very cool process. I think for me, I'm from the old school. I like an album. I don't know if you guys feel
I love
the
it.
same.
Yeah, man, we want a journey. We want an emotional
Yes.
journey. We want to start somewhere with you and end up somewhere else with you.
I think
And
it's
Die
just-
Ruimte.
I think
Yeah,
it just kind of
exactly.
reflects, you know, who you are at that stage of life, and
Yes.
it's like
For
this
sure,
is kind
man.
of who I am to the people that like my tunes. This is where I'm at.
So everybody, basically, because yes, we
Yes.
all absolutely love you. I love that you said Gevaar, because in my mind I was like, yes, this is where the danger lies. I absolutely love it. Today is also a special day. It marks the release of the visuals for your video DSK Dominee se Kind, which is a PK in English, a pastor's kid or a reverend child.
yeah.
Tell me more about this. Are you excited?
Yeah, we actually released it on Friday. I
Oh, it's
think.
already released.
Yeah. But I think it's the
exciting.
first time on national TV.
There you go.
for
It's
sure.
an exclusive.
Yeah, it's a song about kind of, I guess, my upbringing.
Yeah.
And just how everything around you kind of influences who you turn out to be. And the visual was actually made by a student, a 20-year-old
Whoa.
girl from the Stellenbosch Academy.
Incredible.
Landre Viljoen.
Oh, they got you like
It's super
proper.
super cool, and I really like the style of the animation. I'm just a fan of her work.
Oh, well
She
done.
is wicked cool. I love that. You get to play, dude. I'm
Yeah.
starting to think that maybe all you want to do is just be with your mates and play.
But that's what I call my job. I'm going to
Yeah.
play a show. It's like,
That's what you call your festival, Francois Van Coke and friends.
for sure.
What is it about that particular stage that because the artists who keep coming back on there also place it in a very special place, man. It's one of those like unicorn kind of moments for artists where you get to just be But from your perspective, why do you keep doing this? Why is it so magical, man?
Yes, I feel very lucky that I've got an event like that. Obviously, it was created because I've done a lot of collabs in my life, and sometimes my wife was like, "Oh, yeah, why are you doing this collab? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You're wasting time with this." But some of those collabs worked out wonderfully, and I still play them to this day with a bunch of my friends. And we started the event in 2018 for the first time. We did it in Pretoria, and we expected like 4,000 people or something, and it was a sold-out arena the first time. And we try and reinvent the show a little bit every year, put different people on the lineup, do different songs and new collabs, and yeah, it's just been a fantastic ride. It's like my baby. It's like my most important show of the year. With my choms, we can all
Who's
get
the
together.
naughtiest? Who's Jack?
Jack, I actually think Fred from the Yevils is the naughty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to have him on.
And I like the way.
Talk about
I know, you can check through like the Rotodexing of memories.
But
Yeah, I know,
normally
it's
it's the friends of the friends that end up backstage.
Right. I love it. It sounds like
Indirectly.
a rock star festival. Next time, we got to be the VIP. Thank you,
course.
Francois. Let's talk a bit about the Cultura Festival. I know you're doing some really exciting things there in terms of headlining Judge and the band battle. Tell me a little bit more about that one.
Yeah, it's a kind of a high school battle of the bands, which I'm very excited to perform at, because that's kind of the first show I've ever played in my life. Was a high school battle of the bands. I played in the Belleville Civic Center or Civic Town Hall. And my first show was a complete disaster. I was kicked out of the band after the first show. The rest of the guys kind of carried on, and I was just left behind. But I think it's a great way to start playing music, and it's kind of cool to be in a band to play a show.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to be a part of that, see some young bands, and hopefully, just kind of develop kids that can do awesome things in the future.
Are you going to be a bit judgy, though? Just a little bit.
I'm not judgy at all. I'm going to be. I think
Come
I'm
on,
going to.
Francois, just for us.
He's just looking for that kid who's going to get kicked off a band there. He's going to be like, come on, things are going to be all right.
You're gonna work out.
Yeah, you'll be fine, man. No, we love the garage band. And there was a time where South Africa was about that, was discovering talent at that level. And that's where you get your 300, those fans that will follow you everywhere, man. It feels like there is a responsibility on your shoulders. Now, I'm sorry to put that on you, but you've reached that kind of level of the music where other young artists need to hear you. You need to start putting back. You need to push yourself into directions that you haven't been. We've seen you on stages alone, international stages, doing stuff, pushing the boat out. Do you feel as a performer there is space to go into the ruimte now? Do you feel like you're expanding in a different way?
Jeez, man. Never say never to anything, I guess.
Are you going to Katy Perry and go to space?
Do it.
She got so much grief for going into space for 10 minutes. It's hardcore. I don't want to go into space, really.
You don't want to cancel Francois just
I wore
yet. A
space suit, but I stopped there. Dude, but never say never to anything. I mean, I guess a lot of things came over my path in my career that I didn't expect I'm going to do.
Exactly.
So you never know, like wherever it takes me.
Embrace it, man.
Beautiful.
Embrace
Never say never. Some great words to close up on. But we're not leaving him just yet, because, yes, Francois is going to kindly and generously perform for us in just a little bit. All you have to do is stick around right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
I absolutely cannot wait for that performance. And you heard it, never say never, and especially when it comes to putting a lot of moolah in your pocket. And that's the opportunity every day, payday, when you play Daily Lotto for an estimated 500,000 Rand in jackpots. And it's all happening this Monday. So don't get left behind. You can buy tickets now in store on the nationallottery.co.za website. You got the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# and then follow the USSDs. It's so simple that we've even made it a bit more simple by putting it on our Expresso social media pages, just to make sure you can go check it out and get yourself in the running to panda, pusher, and play the lotto for an estimated 500,000 Rand today. That means you could be winning big, and this could become your payday, but only if you play now. So good luck, Mzansi. Get involved in that, and of course, the rest of your Feel Good Breakfast Show. You should be promised so much on the lineup. We're going to educate you, though. We're going to talk about something when it comes to the mouth and gut relationship, and that's obviously bringing some health through. And then we got a mixed berry blaze bake breakfast. Lots of bees for your Monday, and I hope you're ready to boogie down with us. We'll see you straight after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
They say a smile is the mirror to the heart or even the soul, but it's also a sneak peek into your health. In fact, it is for many your first warning sign. Today, we are diving into the world of oral microbiomes with Dr. Mark Scher from the Enamel Clinic, and then our good friend Laura Johnston, CEO of Phytoceutics. And of course, we are discussing, well, from the good bacteria to the bad breath. Are we going to be able to get to the root of it all? Can I sneak in even more puns? I might be able to do it. Laura, I'm going to say, first of all, thank you to you, because I don't know how much you guys charge for a single consult, but I feel like I am sorted. Through this journey with you, I've been able to find out such critical information. So, Mark, thank you and welcome to the fold.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. The oral microbiome seems to be bandied about a lot. It's hot right now. Can you explain to me what we are talking about, first of all?
Yeah, so thanks, Graham. Look, the oral microbiome essentially encompasses the microorganisms that live in the mouth.
Okay.
And this includes your bacteria, you can have viruses and fungi. And essentially that makes up and constitutes the flora, as I said. We know there are over 700 different types of bacteria that live in the mouth. Some are very good for you, some help balance your oral health, gum health, your breath, but obviously others that are quite harmful, that can cause gum disease, can cause bad breath. One in particular that we know we've mapped is called Streptococcus mutans. It's quite a quite a mouthful.
Sounds quite nasty as well, which, as it should.
We know that bacteria is directly responsible for causing cavities. So if you have that bacteria and you eat sugars, your chance of getting cavities are greatly increased. And the fascinating thing is that if you eat sugars and don't have that bacteria, you won't get cavities. So it's not that sugar causes cavities, it's the actual bacteria that lives in your mouth.
You're going to be out there firing shots, Mark, hey? I love that. So do we all need to invest in a nice, strong mouthwash? Is it as simple as that? Because you are speaking to a balance that needs to be kept.
So we've got to be careful about mouthwashes. So look, standard brushing and flossing, which I advocate you do twice a day, thoroughly removing that. We call it a biofilm, which is your plaque formation mixed with your salivary enzymes, food debris. Removing that twice a day mechanically with brushing and flossing is critical. Mouthwashes, got to be careful, especially those with alcohol. We know now that mouthwash with alcohol significantly reduces the amount of nitric oxide that your body produces. Now, nitric oxide is your body's natural vasodilator. So we need to have healthy vasodilation for...
Tell you all the gym boys were like, what? Hey? Sorry,
for good, healthy blood flow. And with that suppression, if you use an alcohol-based mouthwash, you will reduce the production of that.
Wow.
So quite damaging. Plus, mouthwashes that are antibacterial obviously remove all the bacteria in your mouth, the good stuff as well. So you have to be careful, and obviously those get prescribed in certain instances to manage infection, but using them on a regular basis can be quite
targeted.
Yes, can be quite damaging.
Okay, correct. I get that. I'm thinking, and I'm making a very simplistic leap here, but we have essential bacteria somewhere else. And so I'm guessing there must be a link. When you focus on your gut health and you start looking at the microbiome in the oral space, are we seeing a link? How does this kind of impact your world?
Yeah, Graham, you've learnt a lot on this journey.
You see.
So you're right. If your gut microbiome, so the flora in your gut is good in general, that also means that your oral microbiome is good. So it's really important to maintain that healthy gut environment. And things like probiotics, Serogut, prebiotics, beta gut can really enable that connection.
I know you would have done a deep dive here. Anything interesting come out? Any links, things that you feel like we should know about this connection?
So I love what Mark's saying about, the oral mucosa and how it absorbs whatever's in your mouth. And that's really the premise behind our vitamin sprays. So, a lot of people have compromised digestive systems. So by spraying a vitamin like a D3K2 or a B12 into your mouth, it gets absorbed into the oral mucosa and straight into the bloodstream, so it's super effective.
You must have so much fun. It must be like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory when you get a new challenge, like, okay, how many different angles can we hit it from? But I love the fact that this is something that, our mouth is something that we can control. It's not inside us. We can see it, we can affect it, we can use our hands. So that being said, what tips do you have? A good brush and a good floss. I love that. Any other tips in terms of enhancing our oral biome, if you will?
So, Graham, look, I think, as Laura said, looking after your gut health, essentially that that then will promote good oral health, good oral bacteria. Visiting your dentist, honestly, having regular sessions, and it's important because out of sight is out of mind. You can't see what's going on in there. And if you have a professional who's looking at you, and that should be done at least on an annual basis, depending on your situation, but critical to have a professional overlook what's going on in your oral cavity, have your mouth clean twice a year, and then at home, do the work. You know, that's critical. If you're brushing twice a day, flossing at least once a day, you're definitely in the upper percentage of looking after your oral health. And as you said, this is the portal to the rest of the body. So if this is healthy, the rest of the body has a higher chance of staying healthy.
I love that. I'll stop short of asking what your consultation fees are. I feel like I dodged a bullet there. But yes, go and see your dentist, as Mark very rightly said. Now, I've just gone through a bit of an oral journey with my own dentist, and I didn't realize how much of my personality was being inhibited by what I was going through. So there is another component to the conversation as well. So thank you for what you do. Love you, man. Checks in the mail. Okay, I don't know what these are all going to stack up to, but I kind of feel like we're looking at health from every angle that we can. And I love this because the mouth is something we can control. Your oral health is way more connected to your overall well-being than I think any of us have realized. So take care of your mouth, take care of your gut, and everything in between and around. Remembering that a happy smile is a happy life. And you can visit phytoceutics.com for the right kind of supplements that are going to help support this journey.
Optimize your gut health with Phytoceutics range of pre, pro, and postbiotics. Use code Expresso for 15% off at phytoceutics.com.
It's not even Tuesday, but we're bringing on all the health bits just to set you up for the weekend. I think we'll carry it on in the kitchen right now because, listen, this breakfast is a winner. We're talking about breakfast as has it all, right? This is a bake, vibrant, whole dish. It comes together in a flash, and it's easily customizable. So it's something that can be prepped the night before even, and you can add all your favorites to this one. And I'm not doing it alone. I got Carissa here with me because we're all about the health this week. Yeah?
I would say so, and this is such a great thing you can prepare beforehand and then enjoy it as the week does go.
I love that concept, yeah, because time isn't a thing for us often during the day. So the fact that we can meal prep this breakfast, I'm here for it.
And in this economy, we want to make sure that we have a breakfast that's stretchy. You know what I mean?
Maybe just we have a breakfast. This current economic climate is hectic, guys. So how are we doing this one?
All right, so we've got some rolled oats. We're also going to add some sugar, baking powder, cinnamon, and a little bit of salt, because as we know, when it comes to baking, salt just enhances flavor.
Especially in like oats. I don't know why, but it really works. So can I add all the dry ingredients together?
Dry ingredients
all right,
together.
that's pretty simple. What are you going to do on your side?
So I'll do the wet ingredients. I've got some oil, neutral oil, some honey, an egg, as well as milk. And it's the simplest recipe because all you have to do is just combine these, mix it together really well, and throw it in the oven. And it looks like a delicious tart that people will say, how long do you... It's actually vanilla essence, sorry, not honey, because we've got some sugar already.
Got some sweet stuff in there, but honey would be quite a good addition, and I think this is where you can start to customize it by adding your own good stuff into it.
Exactly.
Maybe you don't like these type of berries, you want to go for something like blueberries, goji berries might be even a thing for some people. Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love the sound of that, and I love the fact that, hey, this is a breakfast bake. It's like eating cake for breakfast.
Yeah.
That's just like the naughtiest thing, but we are all here for it. This is going in?
That's going in.
Nice.
I've heard some people even do something like a carrot cake breakfast bake. So you could add the carrots, you could add walnuts, you could add some cinnamon. You could do whatever you want.
I'm just, as you mentioned cinnamon, you're just getting like a little bit of a waft of that.
You smell that?
It's that spicy warmth that is just made for winter. I don't know how it does it, but I think it acts on so many more of the senses than we realize, because it's just a warming, inviting smell, and you've got to get it in this recipe because it's going to set off this bake. So this is just going in the dish?
First, yeah. And you know oats will grow in the oven as well. And as it bakes, it will definitely come out as good as that. And then I'm just going to kind of, let me use the spoon.
So
just
now
put the berries in
bring out the inner artiste.
Exactly. Because there's no, like, perfection when it comes to
I'm just thinking, actually, if you were to use, like, blueberries in this one, how they would just
Why
burst.
did your voice get softer?
We gotta get like
You're like, come a little closer.
But listen up, here's a secret. But think about it, like chewing into this, we've got all the good stuff, and then one of those blueberries just like
explode in your mouth.
The ooey gooiness, come on. That's why I had to go octave lower, you know what I mean? Just like
For the
make it
ooey
real.
gooiness. Yes, I hear
But
you.
this is perfect. How quick was this to actually prepare?
And it
Right?
looks so good. It looks very, I'm going to go ahead and say, rustic and beautiful. I would definitely use mixed berries in mine. There's so many antioxidant benefits.
Hey, look
so
at you.
I'm
We're
learning.
talking about that natural nitric oxide, that
Ooh.
vasodilator. We've been paying attention earlier, of course, but
Uh-huh.
I think someone that will definitely say yay to this, well, I'm hoping so. We've got to get the stamp of approval. We got Lucia in the house. Have you recovered from the
my favorite
chaos of the
girl.
weekend and the
I
F1?
have. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
My heart is still palpitating, but Lando Norris won, so I think that's already a winner.
Monaco
Right.
delivered, right? Did Monaco deliver as much as you think our breakfast berry bake cake would do?
Do you know, I'm a massive fan of an oat vibe.
Yes.
I'm also not a breakfast person in general. So growing up, it was always you had your oats
Your
for
bowl of
breakfast.
oats, yeah.
You had to finish before you left for school. But this is interesting because I like the fact that you've added so many different elements that give it more flavor. So I actually can't wait to try it.
Oh my
What would you add into this if you had to get your own creation
So
on?
for me, like I like the fact that Carissa said the carrot cake kind of vibe. For me, I'm a coconut kind of girl. So coconut for me, some blueberries, and then a little bit of peanut butter over it.
Oh my gosh.
You know what, coconut always sends me to like the chocolate realm.
It does,
So I'm thinking like
eh?
you had coconut with coconut shavings and then a little bit of chocolate dashed on
Cacao
top of that.
nibs.
Get
Oh my
outta
goodness.
here.
And I think the preparation time would be just the same as well, which is
Exactly.
great.
All right, I love it. Listen, we're going to cut it up. We won't eat it just yet because I
okay.
think everybody's going to get jealous if they watch you
I
do that.
think
But
so.
let's cut it up and serve it along, and then we'll talk about it later, Mzansi. But this is how easy it is. You can get this recipe at expressoshow.com. And while we get ready to fill Delucia up with some of this goodness, she's going to fill us up with all the latest when it comes to this weekend entertainment because your Monaco delivered like no other. So that conversation is coming your way. But as we cut into this, I told you, it's ooey.
Beautiful.
Hang on, wait. I've got to do it with a low octave. It's ooey and it's gooey. Very nice. Delucia approves, and I think
that
you are
looks
going
so
to as well, Mzansi. This is just delicious.
I don't know how big of a piece you'd like to share.
This one looks ginormous. Give me
I
that
think
one. Give me
is
that.
for you. I'll put it in here.
All right, Mzansi, while we get
yummy.
up to our shenanigans in the kitchen, a reminder, expressoshow.com, you can find it there. And don't forget, we aren't going anywhere. There's still a lot to look forward to right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We don't want you to go anywhere. Oh, it's looking good.
Okay.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Lest we forget, amidst all the other sporting action going on, Formula One is just dominating this year. We race into some very exciting Formula One action from the Monaco Grand Prix. It delivered some high-stakes strategy, historic drama, some new rules making it even more interesting, and Lando Norris capitalized. He took a stunning win from pole, edging closer to the championship lead in a race where tactics ruled the track. Delucia Daniels, Good Hope FM radio producer, motorsport enthusiast, and I'm sure podcaster now, must be, is here to unpack the action. Thanks so much for being here. That was on behalf of all of the bad karma that I've said about Ferrari just came out there.
Yes.
Well done, Charles Leclerc, for the second. But we know Monaco is tight. I think all the money they squeeze into Monaco makes the track really thin. It's difficult to drive around. Before we get into the performances, new rules, 2 stops, seem to spice things up. Did it work? Did it not work?
Do you know, it's a catch-22 really when I think about it, because was I bored during the race? No, I wasn't. Because
Exactly.
it was kind of like watching someone try to solve a Rubik's Cube. There was no blueprint going into this where it was like, okay, cool, there is a definite strategy, we're going to go. But the overriding factor is it is too narrow for these wide cars to overtake. And as much as the FAA wanted to introduce these news to have, you know, overtaking opportunities, the likelihood of you crashing was higher than you overtaking. So yes, it worked in some regard where it came to strategy and to see what the different teams could do. Williams saw what Racing Bulls were doing and they mimicked that. And then you had Mercedes, who were absolutely nowhere. They didn't even try. They didn't even bother using, you know, George Russell and Antonelli, who were also in the same position. So it was disappointing to see that, but also for the strategy itself, I think we definitely need to finesse it for next year.
And I love that. I love the fact that we've, as you've said, in a track that very seldom offers that kind of overtaking, that kind of drama in race.
Yeah.
Now we got it in spades. Take nothing away from Lando Norris. He's there, and you were waiting for that moment for him,
Yeah.
and this was it. Because take nothing away, you've still got to drive like an absolute beast
Yeah.
on this track if you want to maintain.
Do you know what I loved about Lando this weekend is that it was the first time I've seen him so mentally strong in a long time. And I've said it
You see,
before.
we were talking about that just before the race.
It was so important for him, especially at a track in Monaco, which is his second home. It isn't his home race, but
Yes.
what I've learned to appreciate about what Andreas Stella, the team principal, has done is the fact that since Australia, we've kind of seen a relaxation of the papaya rules, which has been wonderful to watch because for the first time we're seeing them racing. There's no ego attached. And I think both of them off track, they asked Oscar Piastri, you know, would you sacrifice yourself to let your teammate win? And they kind of all sat there, Charles, Lando, and Oscar, dumbfounded because what a silly question to ask. You know, we're racers at the end of the
Not
day.
rugby, man.
Like, we don't do that here. And I think that no one is trying to manipulate anything anymore. So I'm hoping that once we go into the next 2/3 of the F1 calendar, that it will be the same because you want your drivers to do their best work. They have the car, they have everything at their disposal to do that. It's now just a matter of the team nurturing them and making sure that they can get that constructors and a driver's title.
Yeah, and because that financially is going to make a massive difference for where they are in their little journey at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's pour some praise on Ferrari for a second here because they did it, and we were joking, and there were lots of backhanded comments and
Yes.
silly compliments, but they delivered on a traditional track. Maybe it was after the craziness strategically of this weekend, they'll kind of feel like, okay, it's back to normal now. We can just race like normal drivers, but we don't want that. We want the craziness. We want a different winner every weekend. We love the fact that these houses like McLaren are coming back and dominating at the top. Great to see Ferrari back in the mix. You could have scripted this one, actually, so well done. Delucia is an absolute savant when it comes to Formula One and what's going to be happening. So head over to the socials, show us some love, and ask her questions if you want to know about anything coming up on the F1 calendar.
Ask her everything. She literally knows everything about F1. I mean, I
Yeah.
ask her about the rumors. She tells me if it's true or not. And there was a rumor that one of our very own took to the streets to go test out something really cool and got his vroom vroom F1 racer on, I believe. Yeah.
Right. Well, when it comes to bold design, cutting-edge innovation, but also the space to match your lifestyle, Hyundai is taking things to the next level, and the all-new Hyundai Alcazar has officially arrived in South Africa. And like Raul has said, our very own Carl Clark was on the ground for an exclusive first look at this dynamic new SUV.
Let's go. Hyundai is shifting gears and setting the pace for what an SUV can be. And today we're at the all-exclusive reveal of the Hyundai Alcazar. And this bold 3-row SUV is known to bring together smart innovation and smart design, all while showing you the space that you never even knew that you needed. And together we are going to explore why this incredible SUV is making such an impact for families and adventurers out there. Come along. The Hyundai Alcazar is such an incredible machine with 3 rows as a compactable SUV. Tell me, what kind of market are you guys trying to target? And also, how are you guys resonating with the South African audience?
We are targeting families that want to experience space, luxury, good value for money, total cost of ownership with great fuel consumption backed by our warranty. I mean, we cater for everybody, from our Grand i10 entry-level customer right through to the luxury vehicles, our Staria and our Palisade. And this is just another bow and our arrow with the Alcazar for young families or families that's looking for space and luxury.
You guys have really created such an incredible machine. 3 rows, exceptional. And I believe, obviously, over the customer insights and your long journey, you guys have really listened. Tell me how the Alcazar plays a part in that story.
Starting point is the styling. It's a very good looking vehicle. It's designed daytime running lights. It's going to be very visible on the road. And this has been a massive improvement for us on the Grand Creator that we had. And then just the value package that we offer in terms of specification levels and all inclusive in the retail price.
If I know anything, you guys are all about value and quality. Let's get a little bit technical here. From the technical insight point of view, what is a standout coverage from an Alcazar?
Value for money, rand for rand, it's going to be very hard to beat, especially with the diesel engine. None of the competitors have diesel engines. Probably a hidden gem in our lineup. The 1.5 diesel, 85 kilowatt, 250 Newton meters, and you drive, it's got enough power, it's got enough acceleration. And today with the fuel price at, call it 23 rand a litre, you can save buying a diesel Alcazar at least 30% over some of the turbo petrol competitors.
My first impression of this beautiful car, the H in the front, the lights,
the steering wheel. It not only adjusts up or down, pulls closer or further, depending on the length. If you're a short driver, closer. If you're long, you know what I mean? And it does that while you drive in real time.
My first impression of Hyundai Alcazar is luxury. It is like a family car that went to private school. Honestly, as a single mom with a little boy who does every extramural known to mankind and wants to be with all his friends all the time, it's spacious but beautiful at the same time.
We've seen the bold reveal, understood the business and the tech, and now it's time to test it out for ourselves. Let's take this bad boy for a spin. The way that it actually feels to drive the Alcazar is powerful and impactful. It's really here to keep you safe more than anything. It's got incredible safety and tech features, a lot of assistance while you're driving, which has been really amazing to witness and to see. And also, I think the tech is really innovative and driving it feels like a power machine. I mean, it's got to keep 7 people safe. 3 rows of South Africans in one car. Makes sense. Listen, I feel like this car is always assisting you in some sort of way. As soon as you take your hands off of the wheel, automatically it kind of tries to keep you in the lane as much as possible, really trying to color inside the lines. And also, if anything is actually coming towards you, it automatically pushes you out of the way, out of any harm or danger. What I love the most about Hyundai is that they are continuously reshaping their brand in a way that really fits South Africa in the most exceptional way. And that's the Hyundai Alcazar, the perfect mix of style, space, and comfort. And whether it's just a young family holiday or a perfect getaway, this SUV has everything you need to make it more luxurious.
Okay, Carl Leclerc, we see you, we see you. He did great in that car.
Nicely done, by the way. You can definitely see his inner Leclerc coming out. And how cool does that look? The Hyundai Alcazar brings together space. You can see the innovation, and there's a whole lot of refinement in that one. And it's everything that creates a driving experience that clearly stands out. And it brought out the best in Carl, too.
Absolutely, my goodness. And if you're ready to enjoy just a little bit more luxury, go ahead and visit hyundai.co.za or head to your nearest Hyundai dealership to book a test drive today. And speaking about vroom vroom, driving into the week ahead, we've got to get into something good straight after this.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world
So these dads now being grown-ups finally as rock stars understand a 7-seater. It's exciting, eh? When a new 7-seater hits the market. Come on, whatever, bro, whatever. As long as it's got space in the back, we'll find out these two rock stars are going to do what they do, and that's rock out just for you. I know it's early, so brace yourself. And then when I say brace yourself, I better brace myself. Yes, we're going to talk about the other trick, the farmers that have found their way to America. Why is the world losing their mind about this? Especially South Africans. A couple of trigger warnings, I think, on the way, and we'll get into that discussion after this. Whew. Good luck.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is so good to have you on this Monday. Let me tell you about one of my favorite quotes, right? Oprah Winfrey once said, "Step out of the history that is holding you back and step into the story you are willing to create." And she sure has done that so beautifully. And that is what the Women of the Future Awards is all about, recognizing the women who are writing a new future, but through business.
I love that. If you can't see the future you want, just go and create it.
Telling
You
you.
be that source. I love it. So Fair Lady, Santam, and True Love, all incredible brands in their own right, are now uniting. They are looking for the 2025 Santam Woman of the Future. So whether you've just launched your business, you're just taking those first few steps, making a difference in the community, which is vitally important right now, or maybe you've been steering the ship for a while, you have your own enterprise, empire, creating a wake behind you, maybe this is your moment.
I have a feeling that it is. So this is just your final reminder that entries are closing soon. So don't miss your opportunity and chance to be recognized but also rewarded for what you have built.
And we know the power of this network, so please inspire yourself. Whatever mantra you lean on to get out of bed and go and dominate, start preaching it and manifesting. Why? Because this is a massive opportunity. You win your share of over 840,000 Rand in prizes, which is in itself going to, I think, set you on its way. But let's frame those awards here. So we've got 3 categories. We've got the Rising Star Award, if you're just getting going, making your mark. We've got the Social Entrepreneur Award, which in my mind is where the most exciting business is happening. And then, of course, Woman of the Future Award. Who is that captain of industry that has kind of opened the door, smashed the ceiling, however you want to talk about it. And there are women doing that right now on behalf of all women in the country.
And if you are that woman, make sure that you yourself get yourself in the running, because that prize money is so incredible, and also the recognition goes such a long way. So make sure you go to the website. It is womanofthefuture.co.za, and entries do close on the 3rd of June. That's literally next week. So make sure that you get your entries in ASAP.
Absolutely. I love that. And here's every reason to get involved in your Feel Good Breakfast show, because there's still a whole lot coming your way. Before we do, though, it's just about to go on the hour, and that is perfect timing for official duties once again. And we're going to start off with national headlines. Now, the South African Policing Union, or otherwise known as SAPU, says meaningful crime reduction depends on government investment in technology and increased staffing. Now, reacting to crime statistics released by the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, on Friday, SAPU warned that population growth has overstretched officers and that 10,000 new recruits are far from enough. Now, while most crimes are down, sex offences have risen. Now, the union believes tools like drones and cybercrime expertise are vital to support frontline efforts, arguing that only with the right tech can police outpace criminal networks. Well, next up, Minister in Presidency Maropene Ramakgopa marked Africa Day yesterday by reflecting on the founding of the Organization of African Unity in 1963. Now, speaking during the G20 Development Working Group meeting, she said that AU continues to foster multilateralism and partnership for the continent's progress. Now, South Africa's theme, Building the Africa We Want, honors unity, equality, and sustainability. Now, Ramakgopa also paid tribute to ANC icon Chief Albert Luthuli, praising his legacy of unity as the continent commemorates shared dreams of liberation and growth. Well, we move over to international headlines right now, and Russia launched its biggest aerial attack of the war on Ukraine overnight on Saturday, firing 367 missiles and drones across multiple cities, killing at least 12 people, and that including 3 children. Now, Ukraine's Air Force intercepted many projectiles, but the scale of destruction was severe. Now, the assault coincides with ongoing prisoner swaps and comes as Ukraine appeals for stronger U.S. condemnation. Now, meanwhile, diplomatic efforts to secure a 30-day ceasefire face setbacks following Washington's reluctance to increase pressure on Moscow, complicating hopes for ending the 3-year conflict. Now, next up, Professor Adekeye Adebajo, Senior Research Fellow at the Center for the Advancement of Science, and this is at the University of Pretoria, says African countries spend about 45% of their income servicing debt. Now, launching his book on Africa Day yesterday, he revealed the continent's total debt stands at $1.3 trillion, or around 18 trillion rand. Now, this is nearly half of African nations spend more on debt repayments than on healthcare. And his book, The Black Atlantic's Triple Burden, links slavery, colonialism, and reparations to today's economic challenges and calling for a shift in Africa's fiscal priorities. Well, we round up this news headline with this. Iranian director Jafar Panahi, long silenced by censorship and imprisonment, has made a triumphant return by winning the prestigious Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival for It Was Just an Accident. Now, the bold revenge thriller, secretly filmed and inspired by his time in prison, takes aim at oppressive regimes and reflects voices Panahi heard behind bars. Now, it marked his first international festival appearance in 15 years, following a travel ban and multiple detentions for his defiant filmmaking. Now, cheered by the Cannes crowd, his win was both artistic and symbolic, and a powerful statement of resilience, unity, and hope for freedom in Iran. Now, despite the risks, Panahi plans to return home and continue his great work. I'll be carrying on the headlines, and here's G-Man with the latest when it comes to all things sport.
Who's in, who's out? It's all about those European positions in football. And let's start there. The final day of the EPL was all about those Champions League spots. And Newcastle secured 5th place despite a 1-0 loss to Everton, edging out Aston Villa on goal difference. Then Chelsea, they sealed 4th with that 1-0 win over Forest, returning to Champions League action after 3 seasons adrift. While Man City, they wrapped up 3rd place on 71 points with that 2-0 victory over Fulham at Fulham, marking their lowest finish, in fact, since the 2016-2017 season, but we have a feeling they'll bounce back. Now we turn to rugby, and a big moment for the Airling Pumas as they secured their maiden SA Cup crown with a commanding, in the end, 39-14 victory over defending champions the Suzuki Griquas in Nelspruit on Saturday. So leading 19-7 at halftime, the hosts then powered through the second half to seal an unbeaten campaign. Incredible, becoming in fact the second team after Griquas to lift that trophy without a loss. Well done, gentlemen. Now let's get back into cricket as another South African shines in the IPL. Dewald Brevis smashed a blistering 57 off just 23 balls to power the Chennai Super Kings to 230 for 5, and ultimately an emphatic 83-run win over the Gujarat Titans in Ahmedabad. Anshul Gamboj with 3 for 13, and then Noor Ahmed with 3 for 21, starring with the ball as CSK ended their rather disappointing IPL campaign on a high, while the Titans, they just missed a top 2 finish after back-to-back heavy defeats. Then let's return to Formula One in Monaco. Lando Norris secured his second Formula One win of the season with a thrilling victory at the Monaco Grand Prix yesterday. Starting from pole, Norris inherited the lead late after Max Verstappen's delayed pit strategy certainly backfired. Then Charles Leclerc, he finished in second place, and then Oscar Piastri took third. And all this means now that Norris trails Piastri by just 3 points in the driver's standings. Still early days, but this one already heating up. Just look at the names on that list. And we are here for the fans, and the fans loved it. And that's where we leave our sport for now. We'll touch on those headlines at around 8 o'clock. Let's see if the roads out there are looking a little less competitive at this time.
Thank you so much, Graham. Let's check out what's happening on your roads for the first time. And we start out in KZN, where a stationary track on the N3 northbound at M13 exit has caused a left lane closure. Now, please do proceed with extra caution when passing through that way. From KZN, we head over to Gauteng and touch down in Centurion, where there's a stationary vehicle on the N1 southbound at Danny-Obert Freeway. And that is after the Flying Saucer interchange, resulting in a lane closure. Singing in Gauteng, let's go to Benoni, where an accident on the N12 westbound before Tom Jones Road has caused a left shoulder closure. Now, please do drive carefully if you're using the affected route. And then we go to Cape Town in Milnerton, where delays are expected along the N7 southbound, and that is on the N1 inbound RAM. Motorists are urged to maintain a safe following distance and also make use of your headlights as you head on out there. Wherever you're headed, make sure you arrive alive, and that's where we leave your roads. Let's check out what's happening in your weather. Well, the good news is that there are no weather warnings for today, but the South African Weather Service has issued also no alerts for today, with most parts of the country enjoying fine, cool, cold weather. Now, in water news, the Lesotho Highlands Water Project is finally back online 2 months later than planned. Maintenance work on the 37-kilometer tunnel, crucial for channeling 700 million cubic meters of water annually to Gauteng, the Free State and the Northwest, began in October and was due by March. The enduring setbacks in Lesotho caused the delay. The previous system shutdown was in 2019. Before we wrap up your weather news, you already know we have to touch down with your sunrise view of this hour. And representing our capital right here in Mzansi is Faith, sharing this beautiful morning view from Pretoria. Thank you so much, Faith. I imagine that this is on your morning walk and you just thought about us and said, you know what, my Feel Good fam has to see what South Africa looks like through my eyes. And we appreciate that, Faith. And continue sharing your morning view with us in 0630369649 if you think you can go up against the capital. For the rest of the country, let's delve into those temperatures for what you can expect on this Monday.
Like we promised, no warnings other than just some good stuff coming your way. And that's the weather we're talking about, but also potentially your wallet growing bigger, because every day could be payday when you play Daily Lotto for an estimated 500,000 Rand in jackpots this Monday. So don't get left behind. Buy your tickets now in store. There's the nationallottery.co.za website. You got the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529#, and then follow the USSDs. Now, we also made it so much more easier for you by putting these details on our Expresso social media pages. So you could go literally check it out right now, which will allow you to panda, push, or play the Daily Lotto for an estimated 500,000 Rand in jackpots today. But only if you play, because that could mean that this is a big payday for you. And someone I know that's excited about this, but more dapper and plugging us in the rest of the good stuff, G-Man. Hand over to you, bro.
Thank you very much. If I knew 500,000 Rand was coming my way, I would have embraced today with a bit more enthusiasm. No, it doesn't get more enthusiastic. Why? Because we've got two big children ready to play. They are bona fide rock stars. They are bona fide friends of the show. We got some new music, we got some old music, and we got some beautiful souls to bring it to you this morning. So happy to have Francois and Richard here. And then you can hear I'm kind of procrastinating just a little bit because we've got to get into a very heavy discussion. I think just to understand how to frame the media frenzy around these South Africans who have been relocated to America. There is a lot being said. Where is the truth in the mix? We're going to bring in a panel to discuss exactly that and try to think a little critically about this matter. We'll see you now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. I think it was with some trepidation that I approached this conversation this morning because it is very highly charged. So I'm going to say trigger warning all around right now. We are dealing with a very grown-up conversation. We're going to kick off things this morning with a story that sparked some serious heat online. A wave of white Afrikaans farmers, and this is what we are seeing within the news, relocating to the United States. Videos, posts about their relocation obviously gone viral, setting up a flurry of commentary around race, around privilege, around fear, and the state of South Africa, and I suppose secondary, the state in America. But out this conversation isn't just about farming families leaving the country. Clearly not. It's about what that decision represents, what the story actually is. Is this a case of people chasing better prospects abroad, or is it a sign of deeper tensions at home, or are we just being fed a load of nonsense? We are joined live in studio by columnist and data analyst Anthony Fish-Hodgson, Felicity Harrison, who is the head of Sustained Dialogues program at the Institute for Justice and Reconciliation, and familiar voice and Good Hope FM radio host Irma G. You must be terrified to talk, all really excited. You guys are giving me good positive energy, which I'm appreciating. So thank you so much for being here. Felicity, I'm going to start with you because, and I'm sorry to do this, but we need to frame this. If I was your boss, a slightly less intelligent version of your boss, and came to you and said, Felicity, what's going on? These stories have just broken. How have you been able to frame what is actually happening for your own operations?
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to be here, even if it is the middle of the night for me.
Yes, exactly.
I think that we need to be looking at the issues around white people in South Africa and how transformed or untransformed that we have become in the last 30 years. And part of that is, I think it's something that I heard from Professor Brian O'Connell once, and he said for white people, equality feels like loss. When you have had privilege, and the kind of privilege that white people have enjoyed in South Africa under apartheid and under colonialism, you find that you find that equality feels like persecution, it feels like victimization, when in actual fact it isn't. It's just about having a level playing field.
And I'm going to state this quite categorically, because I feel like when we introduce sensationalism and lies, when something is as complex as this, we belittle the lives that have been lost through that situation. And we are not in any way condoning violence against anyone. And what has happened to white Afrikaans farmers, as has what has happened to young black children within this country, within the same scourge of violence and a lack of justice, we understand that we need to tread very lightly. Anthony, is this why this has become such a trigger? Is this just the easiest way to create a media storm? Why has there been the reaction that we have had?
I mean, I think the main reason that there's such a strong reaction from so many South Africans is fundamentally that a lot of what's being said is just not true.
Yeah.
And so we've heard subsequently from our Minister of Justice that in the last 4 years, there have been just over 100 farm dwellers being killed, mostly black, and just over 50 farm owners being killed, mostly white. That's in 4 years, right? And in South Africa, there's about 85 people being killed every day.
Exactly.
Right? So I think people understand that to call it a genocide, to say that you need refugees. I mean, we only need to look at our phones to see what genocide actually looks like. We look at Gaza today, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, honestly, there's a kind of absurdist and humorous response also, and as serious as an issue it is, a lot of people talking about the great sack. And
yeah,
the
all we can do is take a step back and laugh, really.
Exactly, and so yes, of course, we don't like anyone being murdered, but really the people who are buying into this kind of narrative, it's minority of a minority of a minority. Even the vast majority of the people in that small white Afrikaner group who do feel aggrieved about the situation are not wanting to leave, are not saying we need to be
their
refugees.
identity is here, their farmland is here, and I've grown up within farming families and understand the connection to land and what that ownership actually means. And I don't think there is a huge amount of space in America for other cultures, to be honest, to grow and flourish and be represented. I don't think what's being offered here is that opportunity.
Yeah.
How do you frame this on air when we ourselves as broadcasters are so triggered? And I speak on behalf of Afrikaans farmers, on anyone who has lost their life when the truth gets trampled over, because we take a step back from real solutions here when it's all just lies on the table. But in the media space, what has the reaction been like for you?
It's so difficult for me because I'm raising kids. And so you want better than what I had. I want better for them. And so when you try and go through this world and you try and do things seemingly the right way and try and have open dialogue, and you just get shut down by the obscurity of it all, the nonsensical facts that get thrown around, and facts we should say. I mean, it's really hurtful. But what I always do in my situation with my kids or in my life, I always say, if the shoe was on the other foot, how would you react? And I just want people to really open up and start wanting to have a good dialogue. If you cannot sit down next to somebody that you vehemently opposed to and actually have a conversation, where are we going to go to?
Well, we'll never move forward, yeah.
You know, and as a nation, we are so resilient. South Africans are amazing with everything that we've gone through. I believe we'll get through it one day, but to get our message heard, to say that, like, actually the facts aren't as you think they are or as you want them to be, to create this narrative for you, but actually this is the facts. And the reality is we all struggle. You know, you all have known somebody who's lost a life in the last
or experienced
week or
violent
month, or
crime
exactly.
firsthand. It's kind of the South African narrative, yeah.
It is, but I mean, we want to look beyond that, and we want to reconcile. We want to open up the dialogue, and we want to have really good conversation. But it means that you need to get off your soapbox, and you need to pause the anger, and you need to actually be able to use your words.
And there have been very few critically thought words on the table here. And I think all of us are feeling triggered, certainly even the broadcasters, at the way that particular press conference was handled, where the truth didn't really seem to matter in that moment. And maybe this is the news landscape that we play in, but there was a reason why this has triggered us on this level. How damaging will this be moving forward for the work that needs to happen on the ground still here in South Africa? And where has this left the group of farmers that are finding themselves now in America? We'd love to hear your thoughts. You can please drop us a note. We're going to call it a safe place online, but we'd love for you to vent, to have your voice heard. So you can hit us up on any of our socials, drop us a voice note. We'd love to hear from you this morning. We will continue this discussion in just a moment.
We look forward to the rest of that conversation. But just to temper the mood a little bit, here is a wonderful performance. In fact, his first performance of this morning in Mzansi. Let's give him a feel-good round of applause. It's Francois Van Coke performing Victor Ledorem. Let's go!
Geld is dom, rijk mensen is vervelig. Klim in die swembad, kruip vir die weerlig. Sukses suig maar nie op dag nie, trek jou sokkies af, maar nie werk toe gaan nie, daar's vibes op die dorp. Daar's vibes in my kop. Uit by die uitvlieg, kom ons vlieg nou. Oor die huise en die strate, leeg koolhydrate, as opdag vir punte was, as ek 'n Victor Ledorem, kan hom in die storm. My hele lewe lang, nee dankie, ek bedank. Het is die einde van die pad, ek bedank. Saam in die straat laat, kom ons dans gou. Toekoms nou, kou voete in die oggendhou. Stupid speletjies, stupid prysies, kom ons bly net hier, maar nie werk te gaan nie, daar's vibes op die dorp. Daar's vibes in my kop. Hey! Like by die uitvlieg, kom ons vlieg nou. Oor die huise en die strate, leeg koolhydrate, as ons opdag vir punte was, as ek 'n Victor Ledorem, kan hom in die storm. My hele lewe lang, nee dankie, ek bedank. Het is die einde van die pad, ek bedank. Geld is dom, rijk mense is vervelig. Swembad, kruip vir die weerlig. Daar's vibes op die dorp. Daar's vibes in my kop. Like by die uitvlieg, kom ons vlieg nou. Oor die huise en die strate, leeg koolhydrate, as opdag vir punte was, as ek 'n Victor Ledorem, kan hom in die storm. My hele lewe lang, nee dankie, ek bedank. Dis die einde van die pad, ek bedank.
Wow, making Monday feel like a weekend. Absolutely love it. That's what it's about, and we're getting everybody involved in this one. And I think they definitely earn themselves a bow. Come on, give it to us, please, Francois. Gotta give us a bow, man. Yeah! Oh, the energy is rife, and it's perfect for this morning, Mzansi, and we're gonna keep it there because if you were paying attention earlier, we had a great conversation happening, and we're gonna continue that. We've got a panel here, and it's all about what's happening with some of our farmers that have relocated to the States and the controversy that this might be causing. On top of that, we are still going to be filling your belly. We had a lovely berry break, and now we're going to be bringing some chocolate into the scenario. So a lot to look forward to right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Don't go anywhere. See you soon.
The Defender Awards are incredibly important in helping to shine a spotlight on the amazing work of some incredible individuals.
When you are an organization or a team doing something great to get funding of your project, it is really important.
Charities need initiatives like this to make a difference in the work they're involved in.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we delve right back into a vitally important conversation. Why? Because it's triggered pretty much the whole world right now. Still with us in studio, wonderful panel helping us unpack why white Afrikaans farmers relocated to the United States has touched a nerve for all South Africans, well, I think a global nerve. Beyond just immigration, this moment opens a broader conversation about identity, about belonging, and what it means to stay or go in today's South Africa. Thank you so much for sticking around and continuing on this path. We forget that these are people, and I think when we do sensationalize something like this, you forget there is now a group of people sitting in another country that clearly had motivation to act on this. Are they all farmers, in your understanding? Is this a doctored PR campaign, which we have seen the US presidency use in other spaces over recent years? How are you feeling about the validity of what we are being told as an actual story?
I think that is one of the big questions of our time. How do we know if anything is true and anything is real? My understanding is that not all of the people who went over to the United States are indeed farmers. The US government is saying that they have been properly vetted, etc., and I have no reason to disagree with the US government. But I would question whether all of the people that went over are farmers. And I think that we as South Africans also need to recognize, in as much as many of our family and friends go overseas for whatever reason, that everybody has a right to leave South Africa. But what we want is the people who remain here to have shared values, to believe in the Constitution, and to want to actually be here to build a better country.
And that's the bottom line. We have to move forward with the country that we're in. We don't just get to take a step back and wash our hands. How is the world receiving this? Obviously, we are supercharged here in South Africa, and we kind of have an understanding, and that's part of the frustration, is because we feel like truth isn't being met in that sense. How is the world framing this? More of the Trump nonsense, or has this hit a nerve globally, do you think?
Well, this is the battle unfolding globally also about what's true and what's not. And I think, again, I mean, very quickly we saw our Minister of Police also come out and say, in the last quarter, there have only been 2 farm owners been killed. They've both been black. And so, you know, where is the kind of urgent so-called
What world do we live in that we are validating statements with that line?
And so, look, there are some white Afrikaners who are aggrieved for whatever reason, but the story here is much more about the United States of America than it is about South Africa. It's about the Trump administration that wants to have a certain story about race, about people, about value, and where do we fit into that, right? They're trying to undo diversity, equity, inclusion, those kinds of programs. South Africa looks like an example that's a counter argument to their whole ideology.
We are the antithesis, and maybe that's why we are the ideal target.
So they've got a vested interest in trying to show right now that this is what happens when you have equality in a country. You know, white people get hurt or something. I mean, it's nonsense. But really what I want to say is, as far as South Africa is concerned, it's a storm in a teacup, right? This is about America and their politics and their narrative and their dialogue. It's not really about the facts on the ground here.
Clearly.
But we also have to say that South Africa is not all the way perfect, Anthony.
Of course.
Like, a lot of work needs to be done.
We're a mess. We're a mess. Let's just own it, yeah.
But we have made some strides. And to have somebody sit there and try and undo that, like, I take offense to that. Seriously.
And so freshly into this journey, I think that's part of why we have taken so much ownership of this new South Africa, is because we are actively involved as conscious citizens in rebuilding. How do we make this a positive then? Because if people, South Africans, are asking the right questions, aren't having the wool pulled over their eyes, are thinking critically, this has got to be a good thing. This has got to show kind of a coming of age for ourselves. Can this be a positive?
Your mother always used to tell you the grass isn't green on the other side, right? But that's literally the thing. Every single country, every race, every person has a different scenario. And so for me, you have to look to that and go, okay, cool. So it's not going to be perfect to me when I get there, because there could be legitimate farmers in that. And then they go to a place where, you know, and the interesting thing is sitting, scrolling through social media and going, do they know where they're going? Do they know that that's mostly black people that live there? And like, what do they really want in the States? What have they been sold? So, you know, it's kind of like this, you know, but all we can do is just hope and work and keep the dialogue, the communication, the reconciliation, keep that conversation going and try and better ourselves regardless of who leaves, because you can't say somebody can't leave.
Well, should I stay or should I go now? I think this is, I've heard that song since I left school, man.
Yeah.
It's been there. It's bizarre, but I'm thinking about the notion of gentle parenting here, okay? You can't sell yourself as being this kind of democracy, have this level of reconciliation without standing up to it. Is this that? Is this a moment for us to stand up for our past, for our present and our future? Do you feel like this could be a positive thing for South Africa moving forward? And I'm reaching here because I don't think this is going to die down in the next couple of weeks. But South Africans, we know how to find that way to build and grow and show resilience. How do you see this moving forward?
I think this is a very good opportunity for us to start having conversations that we haven't had over the last 30 years. The data that IJR has, we have a reconciliation barometer, and that shows that more than 80% of South Africans think that being South African is important, want their children to think that South Africa is important. And while they don't see us united now, only about 30% of us see that we're united now, the vast majority of all races actually believe that a united South Africa is possible. And this is people from different ages, different races, different genders, different rural, urban. And so most of South Africans, and I think that this is what we have to counter in the social media, that most South Africans do actually believe in South Africa, in our shared future, and in having a future where we can all come together.
Yeah, and it's not just about sustain. It's thrive now, and I think we've cottoned on to that. Moving forward, how do we frame this? How would you recommend we kind of broach this? Because it's not going to go away, and we're going to have to stand firm. How do we use this opportunity moving forward? Where do you see this going?
Look, I agree that we need to be having national conversations, and some of them are about land and identity and race. But once we start having those conversations, we need to also acknowledge that those conversations are mostly not about white Afrikaner farmers. They're mostly about the fact that in the city of Cape Town, it's been 30 years of no affordable and social housing being built in the city centre.
It's a socio-economic issue, yeah.
That's so, I mean, and actually, I mean, you know what really upset me about watching that conference is we take with golfers to show status, right?
Yeah.
But it's golf courses that we have in Rondebosch and Mowbray and Greenpoint, which are using all the land that we could use for housing
For
for
low
people
cost,
to.
yeah.
So those conversations need to be happening. We mustn't just get distracted with what's happening at the periphery, at these niches. Even if there are aggrieved people who I agree we should take seriously, you know.
Everyone needs that voice, yeah. Nice, gentle parenting there. You led me to a conclusion. I myself have realized as we hold this mirror up, I think this knee-jerk reaction is because of exactly that, because it forces us to actually engage with these issues, actually engage with identity, actually engage with the wrongs and be opinionated. And when we're going to jump on a soapbox, now we have the opportunity to actually do it for our people, for our country, for equality that has not existed. So we have to take ownership of that, and that is always going to be a bitter pill to swallow. But just be very wary of the news, the headlines, the line that you are being fed. There are pros out there with very, very well-paid PR teams that are orchestrating something within media. Think critically, please.
And as promised right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're bringing you to the forefront of all the pertinent conversation, just like you heard right now. So keep it going and let us know what you think. For now, though, let's change things up a bit and bring on a little dose of inspiration. Because this week on Handy Heroes, we are heading to the coast to meet the pros at Sea Point and Hardware in Cape Town. And this is where expert advice meets unbeatable service. Now, listen, their secret weapon, in case you're asking, well, it's Plascon Polven. This is the go-to for smooth, flawless finishes and effortless blending. Now, their golden rule for every DIY project, if you're asking, is prep like a pro, because a perfect paint job starts long before the first coat. So I think you're pretty much ready to level up your home, and if the answer is yes, well, let's dive straight in.
Powered by Plascon, today's handy heroes come from Sea Point Paint and Hardware in Cape Town.
So we are a paint and hardware store, and we do a wide range of products. Let it be paint, let it be hardware.
We deal with a lot of different type of customers, and that is a challenge for us. We form that bond as a family, and yeah, that's what I love about it.
Our customers, they're everyone, from contractors to DIYs to first-timers.
We try help where even if we don't stock it, we try bring it in for the customer. We try go the extra mile. We're the only store in the area that does Plascon products. It caters to everything, from crack fillers to primers to top coat to professional coats. The basket is big.
The quality of Plascon speaks itself, and in back again, yeah, just if you get it somewhere else, you're not getting the service, you're not getting the pricing.
One of my favorite products is actually the Polven, Plascon Polven. It's a very unique product to do touch-ups because it blends in very easy when you do that the specific type of job.
My DIY tip is prep work. Do your prep work. If you don't do your prep work, your end result's not going to be what you need it to be.
Sea Point Paint and Hardware, your one-stop paint and hardware shop.
Today's Handy Heroes is powered by Plascon Wall and All. Unmatched dirt, stain, water and fade resistance to keep your walls beautiful for years. Plascon, together we've got this.
We absolutely do got this. And in case you needed that reassurance, especially when it comes to making over your room, Woolworths has also got you. When it comes to their Autumn-Winter 2025 collection, I can't wait to see what kind of homeware they have in store for you. So as we brace the colder weather, I know that your home is going to look stunning, but also smell super good, because Raul's got something special for you.
Smelling so good, and I'm just getting acquainted with the ingredients here. It smells like some coffee. It looks like we've got some chocolate, and then I see some baking trays, and these definitely look like muffins. So we put those three together, I think you get an idea of what's coming your way. We're going to dive into the kitchen and serve it up like no other. We're talking muffins, we're talking chocolate, we're talking coffee, we're talking all the good stuff. And you don't need to go anywhere, Mzansi. All of this is coming your way in just a bit. We'll see you soon. Ooh, it's smelling good.
It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome back as I try to adjust my tone and temper from soft tonal dinnerware to statement plum cookware. Woolworths Home, yep, we know what they got. They are serving the looks and the lifestyle this AW25 season, and we are here for, I think, statement accents, luxe textures, because they like to bring a luxe into the home, and some trend-led pieces made to elevate every room and every mood.
Absolutely, and you
Look
can see
at
it there.
it.
You just want to touch it, don't you? Oh, we've stepped into their autumn-winter homeware showcase at a chic boutique hotel, and that is in the heart of the mother city. And let's just say, cozy never looked this good. So let's take a look how we can cozy up in our homes this season.
Let's snuggle in, can I?
What you can expect from today's event is a sensory journey into Woolworths Autumn-Winter 2025 range. The key message about us at Woolworths, it's the details that makes the difference. It's about the quality, it's about elevated products that we strive to serve and deliver to our customers.
This entire collection enhances the feeling of comfort and feel-good moments we all seek this time of the year. It really is driven by the fabrics and the materials that we used in both our softs and in our hards product this year. I think bedroom is exceptionally exciting for me because we've got a lot of layering items just to bring that cocoon feel through, so luxurious throws, comforters, quilts and blankets to choose from. And then we've got a beautiful range of new colors in winter-inspired and season-relevant tones. Colour is absolutely crucial if you want to switch your home over from one season to another. It really does determine how inviting, how warm and how cozy your home feels. So we've built our collection around a range of neutral colours, almost sort of as a base colour. And then we've layered a variety of greens on top of it, again, just to bring that feeling of nature into, ranging from your sages to your deep dark olives. And then we've brought in a little bit of metallic and amber just to bring that warmth through. And then I think what's most exciting is our beautiful feminine plum colour as our pop colour for the season, which I'm really excited about.
When I want homeware, I just go to Woolies because I know I'm going to get good quality and the latest colour spectrum. My favorite autumn-winter items is definitely their bedding. I love the colors that they chose for their bedding. I love the neutrals. I love the greens. Absolutely stunning.
It's important for Woolworths to host events like this to really showcase to the customer all the different product offerings that we can offer to them. It really brings together all the different types of rooms to show them in a house how they all come together and how they can be used.
I'm really excited about what we've done in our kitchen space, just to create those culinary meals in the comfort of your home. We've expanded our cookware collection with a range of essential cookware in beautiful colors and shapes, sizes and materials, so you can make the most out of your time in the kitchen this season.
I am in love with the Sage enamel cast iron pots. It's a go-to and a must-have in every kitchen. And I absolutely love all the wooden pieces that have been brought in. I love wood and I love how it just brings out this warmth and beauty and tones when you're setting a table and you're just making everything beautiful.
I think Woolworths is just the most incredible full experience. At the end of the day, I love wandering at Woolworths. I love the feeling of being in the actual shop, being able to touch and feel things. And more than that, the quality is there, it's accessible, and they're always bang on trend. So after a long day of work, I sometimes call it my Woolworths escape, and I just go wafting through Woolworths and enjoy just the tactile, the visual, how everything is merchandised, and then bringing that home.
Wow, Woolworths never seems to disappoint. What I love the most about the AW25 collection is how easy it is for every piece to just fit into anybody's home. You could easily just style your space according to however you want. The neutral tones are really speaking to me because I am a neutral tones person, and I love the fact that I could buy this year and still be able to have it in my house in the next 5-10 years' time.
What we're open to achieve tonight's event is our guests leaving inspired and also feeling and understanding the way that Woolies is elevating its homeware offer. What sets this collection apart from previous years is the bold design and versatility of our collections. You'll see elevated fabrics, modern silhouettes, curated color palettes that bring global trends into local living. The entire collection comes together seamlessly to support real life, comfort, well-being, and everyday joy.
absolutely love that. Global trends into local living. Winter is truly going to be a magical time for you and I. From bathroom to living room and bedroom to kitchen, create your ultimate living space in style with Woolworths Autumn Winter 2025 Homeware Collection. Of course, you know, it's available in-store, online and the app. Happy shopping.
I love super soft pillows, high quality sheets. My one go-to is like really nice cozy blankets, warm comforters as well. Get nice thicker pillows, you know, just to make the bed nice and full.
Hey, it's me and Irma G, baby, in the kitchen and promising you some good stuff. We already started with a lovely berry bake, and now we're going to spruce things up. And it's everything that you would love in between coffee and chocolate, which is pretty much everything, right? But how can we have them in both at the same time and then maybe pop it into something delicious like a muffin? Because that's what's happening right now. It's topped with something crunchy as well. So whether you're feeling up for the day or just looking for an excuse to bake something, I think this is a treat that you have absolutely been waiting for. So Irma G and I are going to show you how easy this one is to make. And we were just chatting about the weekend and how you've just been fueling the kids, getting them on their journey. So
100%, that's my job.
That's your job now.
My job is taking care of them.
Listen, those are full-time jobs, eh?
100% it is.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the mothers.
Yes.
And single fathers.
Yes.
I mean, and even those who have two parents in the household. It's tough out here,
It
kids.
is.
Adulting is for the birds.
But listen, it's an absolute blessing. It means you have wholesome weekends, you're constantly busy, and hopefully still present. And that's what we're hoping you can be in the kitchen, because I'm sure this will hopefully be something the kids also love that you can take with you at home. And it's really simple. We're doing chocolate, we're doing muffins, we've got a little bit of crumble as well. Is that piquing your interest?
Yes, very
All
much.
right. Irma G says yay. So I'm going to put you on wet ingredient duties. I'll be on dry. What you're going to do here is pretty much just mix this all up. We've got buttermilk and egg and vanilla essence. How are you feeling with that? You can mix it up fast?
Yep.
All right.
Got it.
Got it, nice and sorted. I'll explain why we're doing that, because this is what we've got in the dry ingredients department. Self-raising flour, we've got a little bit of sugar, we've got brown and we've got white sugar going in there, and then we've got both coffee and cocoa. So obviously giving in that coffee feel, but also the chocolate feels coming through from the cocoa. And what we also are going to be adding is some chocolate chips. And I'm going to add some now and maybe a little bit later. You do want to... Yeah, you do. You want more? I know, you can't go wrong with adding some of this to it. I think what's important, though, is that we don't want to add chocolate later on into the wet ingredients side, because it sometimes kind of just seems to flop down to the
Sit
middle.
at the bottom. Yeah,
and
okay.
look, it's not going to be a big problem.
you.
But it might just mean that you have like chocolate at the bottom and then sort of like muffin on top. We want to get this mixed up properly.
Totally,
And
I hear you, sorry.
I think mixing it with the flour also stops it from sinking. It gives it like grip, so they don't lose and go, no, no.
Fabulous pro tip.
Yes, fabulous pro
Love
tip.
that.
Are you someone that spends a lot of time in the kitchen prepping meals?
Don't I look like it?
I don't know. I don't assume
admittedly,
anything.
like my first session here with that pancake was horrible. It was not an indication
I
of
didn't
who
want to
I
bring
am.
that up.
No, I'm in the kitchen every day.
Okay. And if there's a go, I'm putting you on the spot here. If there's a go-to meal that you got to make, like for the entire family, and you don't have a lot of time.
Well, because my husband and my son, they both play rugby, so pasta.
Oh, nice. Good carbs, yeah.
Yes, and so now butter chicken is their favorite, so now I've combined the two.
Like a butter chicken pasta?
Yes.
Why have I not made that before?
See, come to my house, I'll feed you.
Hold up
See,
now.
that pancake was terrible, right?
Okay, so you made amends for that.
I can actually do stuff. No, I'm on it. I'm
Hey,
on
well,
it.
that sounds incredible. I absolutely love that. And I understand the demand that two athletes in the household must place on you, because, Joe, that's a lot of calories being burnt. You need to fill them
Lot
up.
of
You can't just do it with meat as well. Yeah. Well played on the carbs then. Is it something that lasts more than a day?
No.
No?
What do you mean?
One meal only.
My boy turned 17 today. Happy birthday, my baby. I love you.
Hey, happy birthday! Yes!
He eats more than myself and I think my daughter put together.
Oh, wow. That's the sign of a talented young man turning into an athlete. He's coming of age.
From your lips to God,
Yes,
yeah.
I was that kid. Listen, before we get too distracted, I just want to tell Manzanzi we are making food here.
Yes,
before
no,
we
we
get
are.
caught
Let's
up.
get
Wet
into
and dry are going to combine here. So I think, should we put the dry in the wet or the wet? How would you do it, seeing that you're the pro?
use that term very loosely. But
Okay,
I think
let's
the
put the
thing is
wet-
always the wet into the dry.
Yes, perfect.
So you make a little well.
Oh, hey, now, I thought you were just playing games. Definitely
No, I
coming
know
through
my
good
stuff.
tips here.
I know my stuff,
Nice,
buddy.
Irma. I love that. Perfectly done. We are putting the wet into the dry. Made a lovely well there, mixing this all up. And literally, this is so simple because once you're done with this, you literally are going to put about a dollop or let's say a quarter cup of this mixture into your baking tray. We've obviously used a muffin sort of, what are those holders? Cupcake holders? Muffin cups? I don't even know what the name is. I'm leaning to you. You've got to help me here. Come on.
Cupcake holders. Yes, no, well
Cupcake
done.
holders. That obviously doesn't make it stick. And then you're going to pop it in the oven, 180 for about, let's say, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. All depends. Keep an eye on it, though, because everybody's oven is different. Some people even try making this in an air fryer. Have you done that?
No.
No, okay. Irma does not approve. Don't do it in the air fryer, okay? Don't take my advice.
No, you can do whatever you want with your air fryer. I just don't do it myself.
Okay.
Personal choice.
Because you don't have a big enough air fryer for the meals you're going to make.
I don't trust myself.
Oh, Irma, thank you for joining us in the kitchen. It's been so much fun just
You're
having your
very
energy,
welcome.
a very pertinent conversation as well. And of course, you can find at Good Hope FM just giving us the latest when it comes to everything we need from pertinent conversations. For this recipe, expressoshow.com. And hey, we got a whole lot to look forward to right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. A whole lot coming up. So my request to you is do not go anywhere. There's a lot coming through just after this. Oh, all right. This looks good.
I'm getting
Nicely
into
done.
it, buddy.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for rejoining the conversation. We're going to have quite an important conversation right now. I'm going to throw some questions at you. Think about this. When choosing a bank, what really matters to you? What are those plus points? For many South Africans, it's about more than just the accounts, obviously. It's about real rewards that make a difference in our world, in the real world.
Absolutely. So here's the one, right? If you're all about getting more from your money, I think Absa Rewards might just be the reason to make the switch if you haven't already. Listen, we're talking real value, real cash. It's cash that you're getting back, and we're celebrating 16 years of rewarding you.
Sure, 16 years.
This is real, man.
And there are a lot of rewards. I think all of us have different pressure points, and I think this is where the bank can use the information they have about you, your pressure points, your ecosystem, brilliantly.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it can be something as stupid as I have a coffee every day, and if I get a free coffee every second day, it actually makes a difference. But suddenly that's like 1,000 Rand every month. And I know I'm grossly overly simplifying, but it can make a massive difference. Those small increments add up.
Oh, it does make a big difference, because if you think about the reward systems and how they're often structured, it literally plays into our everyday activities. So the things we are doing is allowing us to kind of, in a sense, be rewarded for it and not have to deal with all the pressure that we're dealing with, because it's coming in all angles, man.
Or just fees going out. And I love the fact that we justify it. Here's an interesting question, because I was trying to cast my mind back now. 2009, 16 years ago. Can you remember 2009?
2009.
I'm thinking for me it was the build-up, obviously, for 2010, and I was living in Santam, right next to where they were building one of the major Gautrain. So I would drive to work at like 3:30 in the morning for that particular gig, in a line of dump trucks, and just feeling South Africa just being reborn around me. So that was a very special time.
Man. I was in my 3rd year at varsity in 2009.
Doing well or doing okay?
I was surviving. There was a bit of a blur on the weekends, but bro, we somehow ended up here, and I think that's something to think about, because you're right, bro. In that time, there was so much excitement for me, for the country, in terms of what was happening. We had artists for the first time venturing into the international scene. This is when I think South Africa really brought its puzzle pieces and its recipes to the globe.
Oh, completely, and we smashed that World Cup. I love it. I think for me, a key memory is the Absa rewards age. They were painting a very different picture back then, and they launched in 2009, a 16-year journey of getting to know their people and rewarding them for that.
Can clearly see why it is hitting the nail on the head when it comes to rewarding customers. And here's something that I think you didn't know. This is crazy, right? Absa Rewards gives customers up to 30% real cash back, and that's for using the Absa card at rewards partners when shopping for, let's say, groceries, paying for fuel, or just booking anything depending on their tier. And I think this is incredible. Like we said, it fits into what you're doing in life, and you're kind of getting rewarded for it.
And you don't have to spend ridiculous amounts to move up the tier.
No.
If you look after your accounts, if you have good governance, but that's the thing. There's lots of kind of incentives woven in there to just manage that journey properly. So to celebrate their 16th birthday officially, they've been giving Absa Reward members some incredible offers, from 16 Rand movie tickets. Maybe we should have started there. Just some other amazing travel offers.
Absolutely. And now, to celebrate their 16th birthday, you can stand a chance to win one of 16 Net Florist vouchers worth 1,600 Rand. And it's easy. Simply head to the Expresso social media pages and tell us how Absa Rewards has brought more joy to your story, with real cash back into your pocket, and also tell us how you would convince a friend by tagging them too. And then obviously, to sign up to the Absa Rewards, we want you to do that ASAP. And don't forget to include the hashtag #YourStoryMatters and the hashtag 16 is sweeter together in your answer. Reminder, the competition closes 30th of May, and your T's and C's do apply.
All the best of luck for that. Absa Rewards is a zero membership loyalty program. Let's take that categorically, and you do not want to miss out on the real cashback, up to 30%. And of course, this amazing celebration. So join Absa Rewards for free on the Absa banking app today.
I can't believe how quickly this Monday morning has gone. We're just a minute before 8 o'clock. Let's get into your national news headlines. As the Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium kicks off in Cape Town today, Minister Dean McPherson yesterday reaffirmed government's 1 trillion rand pledge to boost infrastructure and create jobs. Now, the event, which runs until tomorrow, brings together key players from government, business and finance to strategize on economic revival through construction. Highlights include the launch of the second construction book and a new list of priority projects. McPherson emphasized that the focus is firmly on action over talk, positioning infrastructure as the engine of recovery and improved service delivery. In other national news, the South African Policing Union, or SAPU, says meaningful crime reduction depends on government investment in technology and increased staffing. Reacting to crime statistics released by the Minister of Police, Senzo Unu, on Friday, SAPU warned that population growth has overstretched officers and that 10,000 new recruits are far from enough. While most crimes are down, sex offences have risen. Now, the union believes tools like drones and cybercrime expertise are vital to support frontline efforts, arguing that only with the right tech can police outpace criminal networks. In your international news making headlines, officials in the Democratic Republic of Congo are hopeful of finalizing a deal with Washington by the end of June to secure U.S. investment in critical minerals and support for ending the Rwanda-backed M23 insurgency. Now, the U.S.-led peace process may allow legal mineral exports to Rwanda for processing while boosting regional transparency and sovereignty. Kinshasa sees mineral exploitation as fueling the conflict and hopes the agreement will reduce its dependency on China. However, significant political and territorial hurdles still threaten to derail negotiations. Meanwhile, Russia launched its biggest aerial attack on the war on Ukraine overnight on Saturday, firing 367 missiles and drones across multiple cities, killing at least 12 people, including 3 children. Now, Ukraine's Air Force intercepted many projectiles, but the scale of destruction was severe. The assault coincides with ongoing prisoner swaps and comes as Ukraine appeals for stronger U.S. condemnation. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts to secure a 30-day ceasefire face setbacks following Washington's reluctance to increase pressure on Moscow, complicating hopes for ending the 3-year conflict. And closing up your news on this Monday morning, if you are thinking of buying a new car, sorry to you, the Ferrari driven to victory by Formula One legend Michael Schumacher at the 2001 Monaco Grand Prix has just been snapped up by the auction for only 325 million rand. The F2001 also carried him to a win at the Hungarian Grand Prix and sealed his 4th world title. It's now the most expensive Schumacher-driven car ever auctioned and the 4th most expensive F1 car ever sold. The record, a 1,033 million rand Mercedes Streamliner raced by Sir Sterling Moss and Juan Manuel Fangio. Although Ferrari didn't win yesterday, Charles Leclerc came a respectable second, with Hamilton 5th behind McLaren's Lando Norris 1st and Oscar Piastri 3rd. So we leave your 8 o'clock news, but going along the line of sports, let's get into your sporting headlines for the final time.
I've been warning you guys, Carissa does sport, man. Before she steals my whole bulletin, let's jump right in for a big day in English football. Obviously, the final day of the EPL, and it was all about Champions League berths. Newcastle secured 5th place, so they're in Europa, despite that 1-0 loss to Everton, edging out Aston Villa just on goal difference. Thank you, Alexander Itzhak, this season. Then Chelsea, they sealed 4th with that 1-0 win over Forest, returning to Champions League action after 3 seasons adrift. And then Man City, they wrapped up 3rd place on 71 points with that 2-0 victory over Fulham at Fulham, marking their lowest finish since the 2016-2017 season. It's been an embattled one, but they've pulled through. Now let's turn to rugby. And you speak of incredible moments. This is that. The Airlink Pumas secured their maiden SA Cup crown with a commanding 39-14 victory over the defending champions, the Suzuki Griquas in Nelspruit on Saturday. So leading 19-7 at halftime, the hosts continued in that vein, powering through the second half to seal an unbeaten campaign. That's incredible, becoming the 2nd team only, in fact, after Griquas to lift the trophy without a loss. Congratulations, gents. Now, the continuation of the South Africans shining in the IPL as Dewald Brevis smashed a blistering 57 of just 23 balls to power the Chennai Super Kings to 230 for 5 and an emphatic 83-run win over the Gujarat Titans in Ahmedabad. So Anshul Kambodge with 3 for 13 and then Noor Ahmed with 3 for 21, starring with the ball in hand as CSK ended their disappointing, it must be said, LPL campaign on a high. While the Titans, they missed out on a top 2 finish after back-to-back heavy defeats at just the worst time in the season. And now, of course, we can continue the motorsport law around Monaco. And this time, Lando Norris has etched his name down in history, securing his 2nd Formula One win of the season with a thrilling victory at the Monaco Grand Prix yesterday. Starting from pole position with 2 stops enforced, Norris inherited the lead late after Max Verstappen's delayed pit strategy certainly backfired for the team. Charles Leclerc, he finished 2nd, and then Oscar Piastri took 3rd. This is all very exciting. Why? Because Norris now trails Piastri by just 3 points in the driver standings. Going to be quite a year for McLaren. But that's where we leave our sporting highlights for this Monday morning. I think the roads should be fully up and running right now. Let's see if there are any incidents to report on.
Thank you so much, G-Man. And yes, not too much happening on the roads except for in Cape Town. So let's start right there, and Kales River to be specific. Now there's back-to-back traffic being experienced along the R300, and this is northbound at Old Paul Road. So as you can see from the visuals, please allow for additional travel time to accommodate the expected delays. Now sticking to Cape Town and moving to Somerset West, you can expect delays on the N2 outbound, and this is at Victoria Interchange and due to congestion. And again, you can see from the visuals, you might need to plan your route accordingly, and please stay alert while driving. From the roads to the sky, let's find out now one last time what's happening in the world of weather. Yeah, it looks like it's good stuff out there, South Africa, because the Weather Service has issued no alerts for today, with most parts of the country enjoying fine, cool to cold weather. Now, in water news, the Lesotho Highlands water project is finally back online, 2 months later than planned. Now, maintenance work on the 37-kilometer tunnel, which was crucial for channeling 700 million cubic meters of water, and that's annually to Gauteng, the Free State and the Northwest, began in October and was due by March. But engineering setbacks in Lesotho caused the delay, and the previous system shutdown was only in 2019. Well, from Weather News, we take a final look at the magnificent opportunity to see your sunrise. And Sayan has come through from KZN to show off with an absolute banger. Look at the color of the sun here. It's still glistening with that orange hue. You can see it reflected off the ocean. And this is a picturesque scene that just promises a beautiful day. Sayan, you can expect 25 degrees of weather in Durban, and it looks like it's gonna be a goodie. Yo, Mzansi, what a beautiful shot. It's put a smile on my dial and everyone else in the studio. And here's a reminder to do it all again tomorrow morning. The number is 063-036-9649. An incredible sunrise view and an incredible opportunity for you to capitalize on the day. And you can take a look at your temperatures to do just that. Enjoy.
Morning views across the country we're hoping for you, and if not, I do have just a little something to make sure your day's even better, because every day could be Kepe Day when you play Daily Lotto for an estimated 500,000 Rand jackpot, and it all goes down at the start of this week. So don't get left behind. Buy your tickets now in store. You can head over to the website nationallottery.co.za. There's the mobile app, cell phone banking, or head to your keypad and just dial these numbers, *120 *7529 hash, and that of course is for USSD. Now, all those details are in our Expresso social pages, so go check out Francois and make sure that you get yourself in the running to Panda Pusha Play Daily Lotto for an estimated 500,000 Rand jackpot today. And you could just win big is all I'm saying, and this is what I want for you, to be able to look at your bank account with a big smile on your face.
What, for us, when you said what I want for you, did you mean for us?
Just for the two of you only, because you'll bring a smile to my face.
We'll go like a 50-30 kind of split. No, it's fine. So if you're wondering why I'm wearing my fancy cardi over my shoulders to seem more cultured and intelligent and mature, I'm going to be interviewing Callum Scott, and I'm going to turn into an absolute big child. Now, I love this guy. He came onto our show years ago when his career hadn't really kicked off yet. He was just a reality show winning kind of guy. And to see how far he's come, but he loves us. You don't understand how much this guy loves South Africa, how he loves Expresso. So I'm very excited. Very, very, very excited.
I'm jealous.
I know, be jealous. Be very jealous.
Well, listen, we're going to keep the entertainment going, of course, because Francois Van Coke is here. We've got new music to celebrate and new vibes. It's only Monday, but this is the energy that's going to get us right through the week till Friday. So stick around, Mzansi. All the good stuff is coming your way.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
By now, I think you know when I'm really excited, and this is it. Why? Because global hitmaker Callum Scott is coming back to South Africa in January of 2026 for his biggest tour yet, and of course supporting an incredible album that's on the way. It is titled the Avenoir Tour, with a new album dropping this September and some beautiful, very raw, emotional singles already making waves. We thought we'd catch up with our old friend. Callum, so good to connect, my brother. How are you?
Bro, I'm just absolutely buzzing to be talking to South Africa again. How are you?
Over the moon, my friend. South Africa seems to have a very special place for you. What are we to you?
Oh, man. I mean, the food and the drink, for a start, is just superior. But do you know what? It's ever since I have toured South Africa, I've just always felt like the country's just opened its heart to me. I remember the very first bit of touring that I did in South Africa, I went to Durban and played my first show there, and the capacity had to be extended because the demand was so high. And that had never happened to me before. I just got a real sense that there was some real support and some real love in South Africa. And to be thousands of miles away from home and to experience that was just, I'm blessed.
Yeah, and I think globally they now understand the power of a South African market. We might be small, but I think once we like what we like, we support. We will download, we will fill up a stadium. And we've seen a lot of international artists selling out stadiums here where they don't sell out in the US or possibly in Europe. So thank you for paving that way, my friend. It's not lost on us how much it means to have people on your level, because I think you're on a level now. Does it feel... Do you ever, because you've never changed, you've been the same bloke, you've just been the same lovely, wonderful, humble human being. When the world receives you, when you send out new music like this, when the world gets buzzing about your global tour, do you have those gut check moments where you're like, is this me? Is this really happening? How do you put it all in perspective?
Yeah, every day, Graham. Do you know what? I'm 10 years into my career now, right? And I truly believe that I deserve to be where I'm at. I've worked hard. And I don't take it for granted. I wake up every morning just so blessed that I get to do this as a day job. I mean, I remember sat working in my human resources job, just doing, like, working on off-street parking complaints, Graham. And now I'm touring with Ed Sheeran. I mean, what the hell is going on? But I'm just so grateful. And I think that gratitude has kind of helped me evolve into an artist that's kind of been able to stop that imposter syndrome so much. You know, I'm sort of not sat here thinking, oh, well, luck's going to run out soon, and you know, you better sort of think of a plan B. And now I'm thinking, this is my plan. Like, I'm here with purpose, and I'm here with my medicine as music, and I'm here to put a little bit of light back in the world. So yeah, I do truly believe what I'm doing is real purpose. I genuinely believe that. With this tour, it feels like we're all going to be able to process life with you. Are you processing life through this music? Because it is raw, just the taste we've been given of the album. The Avenoir album is some of my sort of most confident work. I was saying to somebody the other day, I've never felt more Callum Scott than I do right now. And I know that sounds random, but in terms of like me being an artist, I think the Avenoir album and subsequently the Avenoir tour is going to take people on a real journey. There's, you know, the whole thing about Avenoir is it's a challenge for people to remember to live in the present moment. You know, we worry so much about the future, and sometimes we meander too much in our past. I think it's just a stark reminder for us to all live in the present. You know, life is so precious, but it's over so quickly, and it's just a reminder to, you know, really keep those loved ones close and love deeply. And of course, I mean, it's Callum Scott. There's heartbreak all across the album. But there is some real joy and triumph as well, and some really reflective moments. And, you know, everything's inspired by, you know, either my life story or people close to me. So it's all still very personal. I'm still going to be making people cry, Graham. That is always going to be my #1 priority. And you feel it from even the music is charged, if that makes sense. Like from that first sound, your vibration is elevated, if that makes any sense, dude, because it's a feeling as much as it's an experience. So when I think of what you've done within the LGBTQ+ community and how you've hung that purpose around your shoulders, and you have embraced that, and certainly in other areas, whether it's marginalized musicians, whether it's people who've walked your path and might have that imposter syndrome, why is that so important to you? Because not everyone chooses to hang their hat on purpose, my brother. I just feel like, you know, I'm honoured to do what I do. And, you know, of course I've worked hard for it. There are other people out there that will, you know, work hard for it all their lives and maybe not get the opportunities that I've been blessed to receive. And so I just think the only right thing to do is to use not your, you know, of course it's incredible touring around the world and being able to go to these events and see all these fans and what comes with what I do is beautiful. But I think more than that, it's about being able to, you know, help and to hand down and to impart knowledge and wisdom and emotion and make people feel seen and heard and understood. I just think using my platform, I've been able to do fundraising, I've been able to go out there and sort of educate people on, you know, mental health, on sexuality, on, you know, the uses of the internet. You know,
Yeah.
I've been able to sponsor little kids' football teams, and you know, I've been able to use what I do and take the positives that I've experienced and to be able to bless other people with that. For me, is one of the more exciting things that I get to do, because you know, then I'm just being a human at that point. I'm just being Callum who wants to help.
Oh, buddy, I think you've laid it down. The baseline, we're just humans. But I'm feeling a little emotional today, and I'm missing your voice so much. Can you do me a very big personal flavor and just give me a little line, just a little something for our viewers who have missed connecting with you live?
I'd climb every mountain and swim every ocean just to be with you and fix what I've broken. Oh, 'cause I need you to see that you are the reason.
Oh, my buddy. Okay, well, it started already, dude, because I can remember the first time you sung that song on our stage. I can remember what it meant for you back then. And most importantly, I can remember what it meant for South Africa that you've drawn us into your inner circle. So, my brother, thank you so much. I'm well aware that my wife loves you more than me, and I'm okay with that now, just because you did that, buddy. Please keep creating, keep spreading the love, keep expanding through the world in the way that you are. You are just making the most beautiful mark. And welcome home in advance when you come back to South Africa, my brother. We can't wait to have you here.
Oh, bro, honestly, it is my absolute pleasure. I want to say to you guys there at Expresso and everybody watching, thank you so much for the support, because it genuinely means the world to me. So I can't wait to be back. And I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed.
Oh, I have no doubt. Love you, guy. Have the most amazing day. Enjoy the album drop when that comes. Maybe we'll do another little quick chat. But Callum is here for us. He is here for you, and he is back in South Africa. So get on it. This is going to sell out quickly. Ticket sales for the Avonnois South African tour will open from the 28th of May. That's just around the corner. And if you don't want to miss out on what is going to be, I think, one of those singular moment kind of tours where every performance is going to give you a life-changing perspective, you better get your ticket. Callum, love you, guy.
Come on, now that we've been elevated by that talent, we're going to bring the talent we have live right here and perform, because it is a hit song. It's under, and it is for all of us from Mzansi. So please give it up once again for Francois Van Coke!
Ons gaan hierdie ene speel by die Francois Van Coke Vriende Show vir die eerste keer as deel van die show saam met ons vriend Reino Velvet. Ja, sy naam is Ande.
Ek vind nog my voete, vind my voete as jy my skop, vasgedraai besete, alarm weer galm in my kop, voel jy nog die aarde, wat onder jou beweeg, volg jy nog die route, waar moordenaars kan breek. Doen jy nog die moeite om die wêreld te rotse klippe en gee vir my die stof. Here we go. Hierdie aande vreet my op en ek bly nog as jy op. Stop my op as jy op. Die kameras kyk terug in jou oë. Ons sien saam ons onvermoë. Ons sal kry wat ons verdien as ek jou net weer kan. Hierdie aande vreet my op en ek bly nog as jy op. Hierdie aande vreet my op en ek bly nog as jy op. Stop my op as jy op. Sien jy daar, Sunbed Arena, 3 Oktober.
Yes, please, man. Late, but never forgetting the fact that this is all the reason for you all to get involved in this tour. It's new music, it's for us and for everybody to celebrate. So you've got every reason to get involved in it. I can't thank you enough for doing the most, guys. Absolutely giving us the energy we needed, and it's not going anywhere. So big one here. Yes, please, Mzansi, don't go anywhere. A lot of the magic is still going to continue right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We've got just over half an hour. So there is a lot that still could be coming your way. And that means you're all going to get prepped up, and we're going to spruce you up with maybe some coffee. So we'll see you around the corner. Don't go anywhere.
This winter, staying healthy is just a click away with BePrepared365.co.za, your go-to platform for trusted medical advice and helpful health tips. While taking charge of your wellness, ask your pharmacist about the Adcock Ingram OTC Winter Survival Pack, including Corenza Paracy, Medikil, Exvigen, and Adco Napamol. Stand a chance of winning weekly cash prizes by replying to the competition question on Expresso's social media pages with hashtag AdcockOTCWinter. T's and C's apply.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we have to check out what's happening on the social streets, in particular, what's been trending on TikTok. And today we're diving into the latest coffee rave trend. And joining us to unpack it all was one of my favorite girlies, DJ Masuda from the Groove Shift on Good FM at 10 p.m. until midnight every Friday. And you'll soon understand why we have brought her along. We're not going to reveal too much about what's going on the floor, unless you can see it behind me, sneak peek. But Masuda, how are you? How's your show going?
I'm so well. The show is amazing. Wow, it's amazing. The support the loyal listeners. It's just been...
What kind of music we're talking? Because 10 p.m. till midnight on a Friday.
Look, I've already been getting a lot of comments. Why is it so short? We need a longer show.
Yes.
But it's been absolutely amazing.
Are we saying hip-hop house?
It's hip-hop house. Commercial,
Piano,
sing-along, club
yes.
hits, everything.
I love
everything.
that.
A little
What's
bit
your
of
favorite
everything.
club hit? I'm just going to put you on the spot right now. Think about it, think about it. Your go-to track, come on.
Damn, Satisfaction.
Ooh, Benny Benassi. I love it. Across every
Let's go.
single generation, that song always eats. Okay, speaking about eating, speaking about drinking, let's get into a social media trend that has taken Cape Town by storm too, because I've seen a couple of people do this, and hopefully we'll see one with you at the headline of it. It's all about the coffee rave. It is a global trend, and it basically combines the buzz of coffee with the energy of a morning dance party. Now, usually when you think party, you think after hours, but no. First thing, as soon as you open your eyes, setting the trend in places like Amsterdam, London, and New York. But let's have a quick look as to what I'm talking about, what I'm describing. There you go.
I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on.
10 a.m. I have never seen people partying and dancing that hard in the morning.
Really?
Would you be into something like this?
I think so.
Yeah.
It gets the vibe, gets you going for the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you a coffee drinker?
Honestly, yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean, iced coffee.
Okay, I love an
That's the
iced
vibe.
coffee.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
An iced coffee with some grooving. I think that's a great combination.
Caffeine, yes.
Yes, and dancing. Unfortunately, it's made its way to the mother city, where spots like Nice Cafe out in Loop Street hosts early raves with free coffee, cupcakes, and then of course a live DJ. Because why would you not? Let's have a look at this one. I do wonder what kind of jobs they have, though. Nobody looks like a corporate bay, you know what I mean? Clocking in at 8 a.m., but that looks absolutely incredible. Masida, please. I actually recognize somebody there. He's a filmer. So we know he doesn't have a proper job. Masida, please tell me that you would do this and be at the forefront of something like this.
I would.
Yeah?
I would.
Okay.
Because grooving is my thing.
Can we pinky promise on that?
Of course.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's go.
I just feel like waking up to the face of Masuda with a cup of coffee in hand. In fact, we'll get into coffee making a bit later, because there's so many different ways that you can enjoy it besides an iced coffee. Is going to be the greatest idea. So you might be thinking now, why, Carissa? Why is this the case? What's the point of this? It's all around offering something, an alternative to a partying, because some people like the sober life. Some people like to still have fun, but not actually enjoy clubbing. So definitely for the health-conscious communities, this is a win. And coffee raves create a space for movement and music, but most importantly, I would say, for connection before your workday does begin. Throw in a free cookie and you definitely will have me there. And I absolutely love it. There he is. It's Loni. I love that. Come on, the whole of the mother city's enjoying the vibes.
The vibe, really.
Masuda, you gotta do this. The baristas
It's
were
like
joining
clubbing in the morning.
This is what I'm saying. Imagine starting your day like this.
Yeah.
I almost feel like we have clubbed in the morning, like 4 a.m. in the
Yes,
morning,
no,
when the party doesn't
definitely.
want to stop. What's the latest you've ever been out till?
5 to 6 a.m.
5 to 6.
Must be, yes.
So you're coming out, the sun is out.
The sun is out. I was like, what?
Do you go take a nap or do you continue your day?
No, I think I'd have to take a power nap.
You have to take a nap. I love that. Well, we definitely also want to take on the trend. We are a feel-good breakfast show. So will you jump on the decks for us?
Of course.
Oh my goodness, if Masuda said yes and we have the coffee going, then we definitely have our own rave right here, Expresso fam. I think the only rules is that there are no rules and you have to just groove along with us. So please say that you also will stretch out a pinky and promise us that you will have a groove along with us. Yeah, baby. We also will show you a Dalgona coffee. Remember that trend from like 2020? Yeah, we'll get into all of those details in just a little bit. A foamy, creamy, delicious drink to go along with our grooving. This is exactly what it looks like. Does that not pique your interest?
Yes.
It looks good, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yes, I know. I had the same response. A
David,
Dalgona
right
coffee
now.
is what we're going to get into in just a little bit. But I just have one request. Gents, please show us your best dance move.
Well, you can't just throw something like that on us, Tess. Okay, you're lucky I've got my cardio power on this morning to govern me.
It's the
to hold
morning
me
moves,
back.
bro. It's the morning moves. They just evolve throughout the day. I love it.
Oh, man. Okay, so let's bring some adult energy to this conversation.
Yes.
Malala Yousafzai once said, when the whole world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful. Maybe that's a good notion in today's climate. It's that essence of a social entrepreneur, a woman using her voice and her business to uplift communities. Simple as that.
Love it. And we've got a lot of them in our country, right? But listen to this. Fair Lady, Santam, and True Love are looking for the 2025 Santam Woman of the Future. Now, this is someone who is, whether you just launched your business or making a difference in the community, or you've been steering your own enterprise for years, this is your moment.
And I really like the idea that they've taken different kind of seasons of a business owner's life and focusing on the best investment in South Africa, which is any woman, in fact, but a female-led business in South Africa does well for so many reasons. And I think in the social entrepreneurship space, that's where it comes to bear. So they've got the Social Entrepreneur Award. And this is for those who lead with purpose, who lead with passion. And if you know someone who is turning passion into impact in their communities, this is the space to celebrate.
Yeah, let's celebrate. And I mean, can you think of a woman using business to maybe make a real difference in their community? Well, I think this is exactly it. And bro, I can't even like say one name because I think it would just do disrespect to all the others that are out there, right?
Gogo. I'm going to say the word Gogo because I think this country is being looked after and grown and nurtured and healed by the Gogos, by a section of our society that has taken that on board, and especially in the early childhood development space.
Yeah,
there are women in this country using a tiny little grant to look after everyone else's children. They will dress it up as a creche, but ultimately what it is them applying triage to their community to look after kids that don't have that structure. And how often, in how many little dynamics is that playing out? We owe the Gogos everything.
I think you're so right, because our women are so self-sacrificial. They're so humble for a bigger and more passionate cause. And I think this is the reason why we need to highlight these women. We need them to get involved in something incredible. And remember that entering one of the 3 categories, and anyone that wins is going to be getting a share of 840,000 Rand in prizes. And there's 3 categories, right? First up, there's the Rising Star Award. You've got the Social Entrepreneur Award. And then you have the Woman of the Future Award.
I love it. The 3 phases of business growth. So if you yourself need to have this platform, if you want to highlight someone else, head to womanofthefuture.co.za to enter. It's as simple as that, but you've got to jump on it. Entries close 3rd of June, and we're going to get a lot.
Oh, we need to hurry up and also claim your space, create your legacy, because Santam, hey, this is freedom.
And we definitely will continue celebrating women. One in particular, DJ Masuda, is still here. She says she loves an iced coffee, but we're going to warm it up just a little bit considering the weather. We're going to get into a Dalgona coffee or Dalgoa coffee, and it looks incredible. Let's hope that with our whisking skills, we'll be able to do something just the same. And then we got to prep ourselves for a rave party. You know what the preparation looks like. Got to stretch the bones. You got to stretch out because the dance moves are going to come through hot and fast straight after this. Make sure that you are ready for it, because I've given you a warning, and in just a bit we get into a rave, baby. Come on, Masuda. Yeah. We'll see you now.
welcome back. I know I've been firing questions at you, so I'm going to continue on that trend because these are all important questions, okay? If you are ready, I want you to think about this. Are you ready to turn your dream kitchen into a reality? And I want you to dream big. Easy Life Kitchens, they help us dream big. They are giving away a stunning makeover worth 450,000 rand. Complete with the heavy hitter, the Caesar stone countertops. And then we're going to throw in 50 grand installation costs covered by Absa to boot.
Yeah, man, this is honestly a dream come true moment. This is your chance to cook up something amazing. And I think amazing is an understatement when you look at what you could get here, because literally you could be walking away with a show-stopping designer kitchen crafted with premium finishes and built to impress. We're talking luxury reimagined, and literally all of it could be yours.
I've been in the My Design Rules places, dude.
Hey,
you don't understand. I've seen those finishing touches, okay, at great
inspiration.
pains, but you can see it in our own kitchen every day. There's a reason why our kitchen becomes a display space for our studio. It is gorgeous and super functional. Now, if you want to follow in that vein, enter please, and you can visit one of the 43 Easy Life Kitchen showrooms across Southern Africa for a whole lot of inspiration. Scan the QR code that you'll find on display in that showroom, and most importantly, take a selfie in your favorite kitchen display, please, and then complete the online entry form in store and upload that beautiful photo.
Yeah,
Simple.
it's pretty simple. And on top of this, if you are an existing Absa client, you will automatically qualify for a bonus entry and will therefore have 2 entries in the competition. I told you it gets better.
Oh, please, so don't miss out. There will be a lot of entries for this one. Jump on it. The kitchen giveaway ends the 30th of June, but you can check out easylifekitchens.co.za today to find that nearest showroom, and then go be inspired. And you can find all the T's and C's that apply on easylifekitchens.co.za. Good luck.
Speaking about kitchens, yes, we are standing in one of the most beautiful kitchens, and this is also thanks to Easy Life. Okay, so let's get into some coffee while we are here to match the aesthetic. DJ Masuda is still in the building, and you said you like this coffee iced, but we're going to get into something a bit warmer. If you think back to the trend from 2020, where the Dalgona coffee was everything, people were making, did you know that you could also enjoy it warm? And especially as the chilly season does come up, this is so perfect to welcome you into a new day every single time you open up your eyes. So let's get into the goodness of it and treat yourself right at home. And it really is so simple, Masuda. All you need some coffee, you need some sugar, and you need some hot water. Preferable if you also have a whisk that can, be automated, because you'll need some arm action. So we throw it all in. Coffee, sugar, water. Not too much water, because of course we want a really thick mousse-like consistency. So we'll turn this up a little bit, a lot of it.
Get in there.
And then get right in there. I can even turn it up some more. Turn it up more. What did you say? Turn it up, turn it up. All right. Without spilling everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, and we're going to keep on going with this. And I know that you also have a coffee makeover there. And we do have 2 gents that we have to supply some coffee for. So you can get on Raoul and Graham's coffee while I sort us out with this Dalgona one. Oh, it is getting thicker. Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Ooh. This requires so much concentration. How are you doing over there, Masuda?
It's going
good? Well, I see some coffee.
It's heating up.
Nice. They should put us in the kitchen more often.
Nice and thick there.
Yeah, no, look.
Lovely.
I'm trying not to spill everywhere. It's a bit of a hazard to bring the boys in at this point, but let's try.
Hey.
Hello.
Out here hanging out and not getting a bit of this good stuff?
What? This stuff spills on you, because you might. Step back a little bit.
Are you okay here? Are you all right? We just came into like a safety check. Oh, this is very exciting.
Okay, let's see how it's doing.
This does kind of feel like something that was arrived upon by like some really broke students who only had coffee to eat.
Right.
And that's it. And they had to figure out a way to make it more palatable. But it works so well.
It's
So just to fill me in here, because I might not be up to date, are we like trying to recreate this morning rave scene here? We got the DJ, we got the coffee. Okay. Okay.
We absolutely are. So basically, in case you missed it, there's something called a morning coffee rave, where at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., people come on through. The Mother City has really kick-started it in South Africa, I would say.
Well done.
And people have just come on through and enjoyed a cup of coffee and a bit of a boogie before they clock in their 8 hours at work.
I like it. And this is not like the end of the night before morning rave.
No.
Okay, this is like the morning of the day tomorrow.
You've had 8 hours
kind
of
a thing.
sleep,
Okay.
but you still feel like a good
I like
time.
it. I like the way you are being quite loose and fast with the way you're pouring your milk everywhere, just spraying all over.
I'm too messy.
Yeah, man, I like it. I hope you're not an A-type personality.
This is kind of probably the vibe. This is the vibe you'd get at the morning jaw, I'd imagine. It's just like coffee. Just go here.
Everything's a little bit of something. All right. This could have gone for a little bit more, but I think it's fine.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Have we already spoken about the song that we would play to open up this jewel? Have we decided yet? What's the opening number?
Honestly, I can't tell you.
I heard
want
Benny
you to.
Benassi earlier. Satisfaction came through.
No.
So you're going to keep us in suspense
I will keep you
here?
in suspense because I want you to decide in that moment.
Okay, but wait. If you can imagine the song right now, how would you dance to it?
There's got to be some skulls, huh?
You have to move everything.
Is that the groove
You
shift
start
right
at the
there?
top,
Yes.
and then you can go side to side.
Ooh,
And we haven't even had the coffee in us.
And then put your hips into it. And your back.
Put your back into
Okay, slow down, everyone. Calm down. Slow down.
Okay,
We
we are
haven't even
here
had the
for
coffee
this.
yet.
I think if they did this draw before Expresso, we probably wouldn't be at work. We'd just be going crazy in that morning
Well,
reveal.
how is that different from every day
This
on
is
the
true,
show?
actually.
All we do is drink coffee and dance, okay, before 9 o'clock in the morning. It's our privilege.
So talk to me, what is going on here? You had some milk in there, obviously. We saw you vigorously pouring that in. What's going on?
And then all you need to make the topping, the Dalgona effect, is some coffee, some sugar, and some hot water, and you mix it together like
whip it up
crazy.
like
And then you go in with a topping of maybe some chocolate or maybe some cinnamon, whatever you prefer.
What's your
Lionel would love this coffee. It's
But I do
perfect
know-
for his messiness.
Who's
You know what I mean?
Lionel?
Lionel Messi, man, come on.
Oh, you
Guys,
see.
come on.
I didn't expect a
He's
dad joke
dad joke,
here.
so-
Preparing
Era soon,
for his
guys.
dad joke era.
All right, there is your Dalgona coffee.
That looks
looking
amazing.
absolutely gorgeous. But for you guys, I know you're watching your calories, so we just made you regular coffee.
Oh, I appreciate
No?
that. No.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing. Thank you. So,
Okay, I want you to take this.
Which one's mine? Because the way you're doing that is like you really want me to take
like a
this
trick.
one
Yeah,
specifically.
like that one
I'm like,
specifically. Did you do
working
something
with
wrong?
shellfish
You
and
have a
all
sip
that.
Did you do
first,
something?
Tim. You drink that.
I'll proudly do it. This is like every other rave I've been to.
Careful if it's hot as well, bro.
Yeah, it might be a bit hot.
Wow, it's like a dessert.
It's-
It's like a little dessert in a cup. That is delicious.
It's delicious,
That was a
right?
suspenseful moment. We weren't sure, guys. It seems
I think my
we
little
weren't
brain
sure.
was like, hang on a minute, hang on a minute. No, it's fine, it's fine. That is
Masudi,
absolutely
you have a sip and you
delicious.
tell us.
Okay.
It might be a bit warm.
And yeah, no, it's giving best iced coffee vibes on another level. Absolutely delicious. Nice, eh?
Yo, I can just see
Almost
the
as if
creaminess on the lips.
it's like a tart, some type of tart.
Very good. Yeah, no, I like it.
Sure.
Oh,
And
that's perfect.
you're gonna rate this thing out of 5 if you could.
Out of 5. Why don't we take it up to 10?
Okay, now.
Someone has found her poison. I like it, man.
Y'all were judging me with my
Yo,
whisking
I'm
and my
impressed
milk
with you, huh?
pouring, but I actually did pretty well.
Part of the experience.
Now
It's
we're
part of the
still
show.
judging you about your milk pouring. I think that's
Hide this
that's
one.
gonna go.
You could actually have these in little shot glasses as people walk in too, so then it's a real party.
Oh, that is clever.
On
That's
entry.
naughty, yeah.
Yes.
But this is what it's about. I think we don't need all these crazy stimulants. We don't need to alter our state in order to have fun. We can literally wake up, have a breath, be grateful for the fact that you are living, and that's enough to joel for and more. So I can see this trend is going to start picking up.
It normally takes later in the year for us to get to being grateful just to be alive. Okay, but we've reached that point, which is fine. Raul, you put something rather interesting to us this morning on the social streets. Take us through. What did you want the people to chat about?
Absolutely. So obviously winter weekends are for Bum Bum. It was a big blank that we needed you to fill in Mzansi, and y'all have come through indeed. We got some comments I hope that we can share first. And starting off with the VJ Moodley. He says winter weekends are for poiki, comfort food, bonfire, flame, hot coffees. Oh man, you couldn't have said it better, right?
A poiki? Sign me. Am I
Inside
invited?
and out.
Please, VJ, let's see what else we got from you. One from Mary saying, good morning, happy Monday. Winter weekends are for being in bed watching your favorite shows, Mary.
Breakfast show.
Yes, Mary. Thank you for choosing us.
You can
this
add
morning.
Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Make it a long weekend.
Oh,
It is the
exactly.
weekend.
That's
Hello.
where I'm going to go. Deirdre also weighing in. She says winter weekends are for snuggling, watching movies, and a lekker pot of veggie soup cooking.
Yes.
Hey,
Wow.
emotional cooking becomes a thing.
We haven't delved into soups too much, and you know, winter's all about it. I can't wait for
Oh,
it.
no, that sounds like a challenge. Val.
Challenge accepted.
It's a Wednesday coming up.
We had soups with chicken necks in growing up. Did you have that? Okay, anyway, Hazel
Not a
says
competition.
winter weekends are for a cup of coffee with a spinach and feta phyllo.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
I like
Sounds
that.
good. That's an interesting pairing as well. Do you think that would work in the morning, Joel, like a coffee
Yes,
and a
of course.
pastry?
A little cider.
course.
But it's Cape Town. You can do whatever you want. You can walk down with a pastry, with a hot dog, with a...
But you got to line your stomach either way for the caffeine. All right, Nama also got in touch. Winter weekends are for cozying up with a warm cup of coffee and binge watching.
Well, you can binge whinge if you want.
Your
I can get a
favourite
good...
Is that when you're watching something and winning on a binge? You're whinging.
You're winning.
That's what it
It's
is.
just when you
Binge
don't
whinging.
stop complaining the whole of winter. You're binge whinging, okay? Which you can do. if
Listen,
it's
we're not
really cold.
whinging about these comments, so thank you so much, Mzansi, for filling in the blanks and giving us a little bit of incentive to get into the colder season. We're talking about winter, and we're talking about all the gears that's coming with it. Winter's never gotten me this excited, especially DJs, Jules. We can make this a thing, actually, yeah?
Why not?
Yeah.
I'm going to practice my dance moves.
It's my feel good breakfast show.
Someone's caught in no man's land, but she wants all the money for herself. Okay, well, I'm going to start from my side. Every day is pay day if you play daily lotto. Well, today really could be. There is an estimated 500,000 rand sitting in the jackpot this Monday. Come on. Don't get left behind. Go and get your tickets. You can do it in-store when they open. You can go online, nationallottery.co.za. You can use their mobile app. You can use your own cell phone banking setup, or you can dial star 120 star 7529 hash for USSDs.
Listen, this is going to stop all the whinging. I promise you. If you're looking for moolah, this is where you
whinge
get
cringe.
it. Yeah, then you can get all these details on Expresso's social media pages. Go check it out right now, and literally you can pound a push or play daily lotto for an estimated 500,000 rand in jackpots happening today, which means you could be winning big, but only if you play. So go do it right now.
Oh, man, if you're talking about winning and whinging, we're definitely going to end the show doing exactly that. We've got our coffee and we definitely have our music going. I'm so excited to get into this beautiful trend, and I'm going to call it a beauty because, man, dancing first thing in the morning, that's a dopamine rush that you actually deserve.
Oh, completely. And we do deserve a really good coffee as well. And, of course, Woolies is stepping up. Okay, you can get up to 35% off selected Nespresso coffee machines. Yes, please, up until the 30th of June this year. Plus, we'll throw in, I say we loosely, a 500 Rand coffee voucher courtesy of Woolies.
Beautiful.
So you can go shop this offer at Woolies right now, in-store, online, or using their amazing app. And, of course, you can find the T's and C's fees that apply at woolies.co.za, then you have to come and dance with us.
Come
Simple
on.
as that.
I think that the coffee rave needs to begin. We've got Masuda on the decks. You've got coffee in hand.
Cheers. We do indeed.
Cheers. Thank you, team.
Cheers to you.
Good morning,
And
coffee
let's
fans.
see what song we're starting with.
Mixing it up with DJ Masuda.
Another feel-good production.